Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Pass the Mic, your daily dose of entertainment, excitement, whatever you like to call it. Welcome back to Pass the Mic with Jackson Austin, where we pass the mic around on the hottest topics going in the sports world today, from MLB to NBA to the NFL draft. Whatever you want to talk about, we're here to talk about it. And there's a lot of things to talk about from this past week. We've got the draft, we've got post spring top 25s to talk about the spring games for a minute. We got the MLB, check in on that. We've got the NBA playoffs going on. There's so much good stuff to talk about. And we always will take your calls as well, as long as you keep it short, sweet, simple, to the point, and no politics, no religion, and no debate about the great pumpkins. You're more than welcome to discuss anything you would like. We'll talk about gymnastics if you like, even though me and Jackson are complete morons when it comes to that. But we will discuss gymnastics with you, but against our better discretion. But I'm Sports Talk with Austin, and I could not do this without my co-host, my friend, and the only person I would rather be awake with right now at this time of night. Well, other than family, of course, but Jackson's like family. The co-host of the Jacksonian, Jackson Johnson. Jackson, how are you, good buddy? And it's still happy Monday on your end. Happy early Tuesday on mine.
Oh, it's going pretty good. Just chilling out. Just making sure I'm getting rocking and rolling for the end of April and the start of May, which means we're close to college football season. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying the days as they go by. It's a big week here in the state of Kentucky. It's Derby week, so I mean, if I mean, we might talk about the Derby, of course, if you would like to. I mean, honestly, I'm still kind of learning that myself. I mean, but if you're into that kind of thing, we'll talk about it. But I'm enjoying the week, and I'm just looking forward to talk about the draft more than anything tonight, because there's a lot of stories to be had, including what in the world are the Cleveland Browns doing, Jack? But we'll get to that. We'll get to
Oh,
that.
they're morons.
Yes, but what we can discuss is the spring games. They've come, they've gone. The portal for college football is closed, and well, let's just say a certain man from On Three, Mr. Andy Stapleton, has released his
Andy Staples.
CFP
Yeah.
post. Andy Staples, not Stapleton, thank you, has released his post spring top 25. And number one, he has the Texas Longhorns. I mean, Jackson, I don't know how much stock you want to put into this top 25, if you put any into it, but what do you think?
It's the month of April, not the month of November. No worries.
Agreed. Agreed.
That
you look
that
at this list. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I really wouldn't worry too much about Andy Staples' top 25 because it's not really the be all end all. I mean, he's a good dude, don't get me wrong, but it's mm, uh,
I mean,
Clemson at 3, LSU at 15, Auburn at 13. I don't get it.
well, and I'll say this too. I I think it's more Jackson for to get some discussion drawn up, because we're in the sleepy months of the CFP off season. CFP, not CFP, of the college football off season. So this is kind of to drum up a little interest, get people talking. I mean, Alabama's at number 7. I know, Jackson, you try not to put any merit in these lists, but Mr. Andy has y'all at number 7. I mean, you could speak to it a little bit. What'd you think of your spring game?
It was pretty cool. I'm glad Alabama didn't lose anybody to the portal. And I know my co-host, Coach Burts, he's had some sessions about it. And I know like a lot of people they're kind of mad as a cottonmouth snake, just like, oh well, these young players, they just get to do whatever the hell they want. They get to do whatever the hell they want. They haven't been through the trial and error like we have. Now I understand though. they're in a different era. You're not. Like, that's what some of these people are mad about, is like they deep down wish they were in the era that the younger people were in. They just don't admit it.
Oh, I agree. I agree very much. And here's the thing. Like you said, Jackson, a lot of people, you know, are they don't get too hip on the spring game anymore because it's basically a preseason game. You just kind of get a feel for what your team's gonna be. And
I
like I
feel like
said,
if they could afford to, I feel like if you could get it to where spring games are free, then I think people will have more of a well, some of those naysayers about the portal and spring games, all that, they will have a more enthusiastic approach to it. And Small Time Republic, thank you for coming on in the chat, says, I'm an Auburn fan, but we threw away 5 games last year. No way we deserve to be preseason top 25. Well, when you're losing a lot of close games in the previous season, that means this year you're going to win a lot of them. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Auburn. I'm not sure, but I feel like they're going to be a lot better than 5-7. I can't help but feel that the Texas A&M game puts a bit of a motivating stretch for the Tigers. I feel like that's what we're going to see for Auburn for some reason. I think we can see something like that. We know that they're going to put a scare into Georgia and Auburn when not Georgia, no, Georgia and Alabama. Like, Auburn's going to do that because what's going to happen is they go to Jordan Hare, and you're going to see either an upset or a near upset in the regular season. That's something to watch out for.
And like Jackson has stated, this is nothing to get too high or low on. I mean, as a Louisville fan, he has us at 24, right on the brink of being in there. I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to make any hasty predictions. Like Jackson said, it's the end of April, early May. It's what they do, and a lot of things are going to change from now until late August, early September. This is just what we've seen so far after the spring practice. And here's the thing. I want to say this, most importantly. You look at some of these teams, Texas being number one. Like, I don't know if they deserve it. I like I know they got a lot of young pieces. Arch Manning, it's his job now. So we'll see. Notre Dame, they lost a lot. So we're gonna see in the coming months. And this is just one man's opinion. We can't get too high or get too low. And Small Time Republic says spring scrimmages against other teams would generate fans' interest, maybe even play them in neutral locations. I would get behind that, or better yet, let's take Jackson's idea of the cupcake weeks of the Austin Peays, the Mercers, and have them play them as spring games. That way, everybody wins. And better yet for Jackson's sake, he doesn't have to watch Alabama Mercer. He can watch Alabama Georgia, or Alabama Ole Miss. It's a win-win for everybody. Win-win.
Or like an Alabama or like an Alabama Penn State game. I mean, that'd be cool.
RC in basketball, welcome in. He says, "Hey y'all, have a great show." Absolutely, thank you for joining us on Pass the Mind. And Megan the Aussie, I can't butcher this last name, Jack.
Megan Aussie 12, go Kroger.
Go Kroger. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for
I may have gotten that last name wrong, but
yeah, we apologize. But she says, "Hey boys, what do you think of the Seahawks draft? A- for me." Well, I'm glad you bring Gawk Rogers. Okay. We learn new things here. But Jackson, what did you think of the Seahawks draft? I'm glad she brought this up.
I'm glad they got our guy Jalen Milrow. That's what I'm really glad about.
And here's the thing too, Jackson. Let me ask you something. What does that say about Milrow's character? That even though he wasn't going to be taken in the first round, he still was there with his teammates.
It showed that he has a lot of class. Because I mean, he wasn't sitting there hoping to God that he was going to be first round or just even be drafted. He's just like, hey, I'm here. I'm here to support my good buddies. There we go. Cool. It's like if I'm in the first round, cool. If I'm not, cool. It's like, and here's the thing that I know surprised a few people: the Giants getting Jackson Dart in the first round. Now I know that surprised a few people, but if you check out Ole Miss at the Voice of College Football from Leanne Herring and Ruby Dreyer and Mark Rogers, you won't be surprised about Mr. Dart being drafted in the first round. But the Seahawks getting Milrow, I was pretty happy about that. I mean, who knows? Maybe we could see it be like Russell Wilson. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. Maybe it could be like Jalen Hurts. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. The Titans getting Cam Ward.
Well, real quick, Jackson, before we go any further, I was just going to say, Miss Megan thinks that was such a reach. What do you think?
I think it was pretty good. But I mean,
and here's the,
but he's going to be sitting behind Sam Darnold for at least most of the season, I suspect. And honestly, he's going to learn on what not to do from Sam Darnold. Do the opposite of Sam Darnold, you'll be fine.
But as we'll talk about all these draft picks, but the 2025 NFL draft has come and gone, and there's a lot to discuss here. And here's the thing. Obviously, the Titans had the number 1 overall pick, and the speculation was running rampant. Do they trade it? Do they pick Cam Ward? Do they pick Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter? What in the world are they going to do with the pick? Jackson had his thoughts on it. He thought to trade the pick away and move on to 2026. Well, Jackson, they kind of had your vision, but they decided we need a quarterback pronto. Let's take care of that now.
They kind of don't. Yeah, I was like, I wasn't going to be too happy with it because it's like, they're not going to do what I think they should do. But I'm like, oh, well, it's here. Not gonna be upset about it. It is what it is. But, when I heard that he was going to use his first paycheck on buying a lot of food for his dog, I'm like, you know what? Any man that's good to his dog is going to be a good teammate.
I mean,
but it's like he was a great guy at Incarnate Word, great guy at Washington State, great guy at Miami. And I'll be honest, I think I've been letting like one bad move cloud my judgment a little bit. I'm gonna have to wait and see. Like, yeah, that whole thing where he's like walking out on his team on the pop.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like the only one like you'll hear like venting about it forever and ever. Like, it's like you don't do that. It's like, but most people get over it. Most people get mad about it for 1 day or 2 weeks, then move on, get over it. Me, I did not get over it, honestly. But it's just like, because it's like, it may not be my team, but it's like, you just don't walk out on your team. You just don't.
Well, here's the thing. The thing I want to say to this too, Jackson, is I know you have said many times to me, off air and on air, you're not looking forward to 2025. You think that this is going to be another year where the Titans are kind of stinking it up, so to speak. With this draft of Cam Ward, obviously the Titans have got a lot of work to do. I mean, they added Tyler Lockett, who's a veteran receiver who can help the young receiving core coming home. Traylon Burks, what's the situation with him? I mean, obviously, Jackson, I don't think the Titans. I mean, could they win the division as bad as it is? Possibly. But what's your realistic expectations for them? 6 wins, 7,
Sits for me.
or 6? I mean, that's pretty fair. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I know you talked about Cam Ward and how you said he's kind of rubbed you the wrong way. I mean, let me ask you this, Jackson. Since Cam Ward's going to be your day one starter, I mean, then that kind of begs the question of, okay, is there hope going to the future? Like, is Cam Ward the long term answer? Like, he obviously has to be. Correct?
We'll wait and see. I mean, we've learned that just because you're the number one draft pick does not mean you're going to be a success. It does not automatically mean you're going to be a failure. I feel like this is a case by case study, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, I mean, no. Don't.
Yeah,
I hate it when so many of these analysts on ESPN do this whole, oh, well, we're going to compare this guy to that guy. Oh, well, he's just like Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he's just like Roger Staubach. Oh, he's this, that, and the other. And it's like, come on. Don't be listening to Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper's a moron. I mean, he's the guy that said, I'm gonna retire in 8 years if Jimmy Carlson doesn't succeed. Well, guess what? 15 years later, he's still at ESPN, stinking it up like the moron he is. Small Time Republic has a great point. If you'll quit on your college team at halftime to avoid injury, then are you going to give 100% when your pro team is struggling? Agreed. You listen to Kiper, you're a moron. Oh, great. I mean, it's like do the opposite of what Mel Kiper says, and you'll be okay. It's like listening to Jim Cramer on finance, or the stock market for that matter.
Here's the thing, Jackson. That's the biggest thing I am concerned about with Cam Ward. Is he going to care enough? Because what happens when he doesn't have instant success? What's his moral going to be like? Because he's going to a team, like it or not, and this is no offense or slight at you, Jackson. You know how much I care about you. The Titans are going to be butt awful probably again.
None taken.
Well, I mean, you all are going to struggle quite a bit this year. And
it's going to happen. Like, it's going to be struggle. It's going to be a struggle bus. Titans are going to be mid. Like, they're going to be a little bit worse than mid in 2025. And if they're having a bunch of close losses, then I could see progress for 2026 and beyond.
And that's where I want to know where Cam Ward's character is. If he's going to be invested even in those losing moments, or if he's just going to be like, F it, and just start throwing the ball willy-nilly and doing things on his own. Because that's what concerns me. Like, people worry about Shedeur. How's his attitude? How's Cam Ward's attitude going to be? Because he's always been in winning teams.
I mean, if you want to punish the rookie quarterbacks, good way to do it is have them go on a podcast or have them go on a show and have them paired up with Bert Kreischer. Because like that's what happened with the Texans QB, CJ Stroud, where it's like he's showing up on the Pat McAfee show talking to everybody about his shakes or his health shakes. And Bert Kreischer's just like crashing the party, showing up uninvited, and just like boom, like doing push-ups, asking if he drinks, all that stuff. Then a year later, you see Jaden Daniels showing up on the Rich Eisen show, and Bert Kreischer's like showing up on there, interrupting the whole time, talking about how his daughters will never reach the level of success that he has, which if that's the highest level according to him, I'm glad they're not there. But
Moving on.
Point. If you want to punish a rookie quarterback, that's a good way to do it.
Moving on, though, from that debacle, Travis Hunter picked number 2 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, what, Jackson, being your division rival, the Jaguars moved up.
They're going to find a way to screw
that?
it up. They're going to find a way to screw it up. I mean, they mortgaged their future first-round draft pick for Travis Hunter.
Here's my thing.
I'm not so sure that's going to end well.
Here's my thing, Jackson. Was this a desperation move to keep Trevor Lawrence around town, so to speak? Because that's what it seems like, in my opinion. Like, the Jaguars realized, what in the world are we doing? And they realized, we got Trevor Lawrence in the prime of his life. We got to do something quick, fast, in a hurry. Like, and them trading up for Travis Hunter seemed like that type of move where they're like, okay, Giants will give you whatever you want. I mean, excuse me, the Browns will give you whatever you want. Whatever you want. We need to get this guy, please. It almost seems like this is a last-ditch effort kind of move.
Well, I mean, they signed Trevor to a 5-year contract last year. So, I mean, they're going to be fine. But I don't think the Jaguars are going to do anything, honestly. They're just going to continue screwing up. They're going to continue just pissing it all away because that's the typical Jaguars. They suck. They always do. They never do well. They always fall apart. I mean, honestly, I like their chances of getting a branch of whiskey with Miss Kitty at the Long Branch more than I do having any shot at the playoffs. It's never going to happen. I mean, Jacksonville is a fate worse than hell. Nobody wants to go there. They're going to get their butts blistered by the Titans, the Texans. And if the Colts, if they could sober up Jim Irsay or get some coffee in them, then maybe they can fight for first place. Who knows? But the Jaguars, as long as they have that moron Shad Khan as their owner, they're not going to do anything. I mean, I don't think Travis Hunter is going to be enough to save the Jaguars. Just as we've seen Trevor Lawrence is not enough to save the Jaguars. You need to have weapons on offense. You need to have weapons on defense. You need to have an offensive line, a defensive line. You need a kicker. You need a punt. They need a lot of everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of a team, Jackson, the Giants were picking third, and they took Abdul Carter, a really great pick to help with Dexter Lawrence on the defensive line, which, as a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of upset because I was hoping Abdul would fall, but he didn't, and now he's going to the Giants, which upsets me because now I have to root against him. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry, Abdul. Love you to death. I liked you at Penn State. I think you're an incredible athlete, but you went to the Giants. Yeah, I can't root for you now.
The Giants sound more serious about winning. I mean, it's like I gotta give them this. I mean, they do want to win with Abdul Carter, and I like that they're getting Jackson Dart because I mean they do know that Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson are not the future. So I mean, that's some smart picks right there.
Well, in a small-time Republican, it says Shad Khan runs the Jags as well as his son runs AEW, which is a secondary professional wrestling company to the WWE. So there is that for you wrestling buffs out there. I mean, Will Campbell forward to the Patriots, Jackson. Not surprised. The Patriots always take an offensive lineman.
Well, it's smart. You need an offensive lineman. You need to protect your QB.
And Jackson, and many people thought this was a surprise, but Mason Graham going 5th to the Browns. A lot of people thought that Mason Graham could be top 10, but no one projected him top 5 that I saw. What do you think about this, Jag? Are the Browns trying to make a serious run at it?
No. They have a moron
You're not
owner.
buying
They have
it.
a moron general manager, and they're going to make Kevin Stefanski the fall guy. So, no, nothing impressive there. But I do like Ashton Genty being drafted by the Raiders.
Yes, Pete Carroll is going to love Ashton Genty. Jackson, I'm going to tell you this right now. This may be a hot take, but the Raiders will be a playoff team this year. Bookmark it.
I'll just do that.
Hold
And
me to it, Jack.
Captain Rafacho says, "Hello, everyone. Roth in the building. Nice. Yes, sir. Raider Nation. All right.
Yes. Captain, you will be pleased with what I just said then. I got the Raiders going to the playoffs. I think Pete Carroll is going to bring the silver and black back to relevance. I like this pick. I would have wished he would have slipped to the Cowboys, but I digress.
There we go.
And the Jets took an offensive lineman. Justin Fields needs all the protection he can get.
Yeah, I mean, Jets need to fix everything, really. The Panthers, I mean, they got McMillan too high. But
yeah,
we'll
possibly.
Wait.
I know our good buddy from Only Talk, Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports, thought that was a reach. I mean, Jackson, you were pretty high on McMillan going into last year.
Yeah.
I mean, would you? And even Megan says another reach. I mean, here's the thing with McMillan. Jackson could tell you more than anybody. He was a big McMillan guy.
Oh yeah.
When we discussed it, he likes McMillan, but is he the 8th? I mean, would you have taken him at 8 though, in your opinion?
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, his biggest weakness is he can't create separation. That's why I think a lot of people sour on him. He's tall, he's lengthy. It's just he can't create separation, and that's what the downfall of a lot. Why a lot of people are souring on him. But the Panthers need weapons like a baby needs milk. So I don't think this is a bad pick. This is a controversial one. The Saints took an offensive lineman, and a lot of people were like, "Why didn't you go quarterback?" Well, little did we know they had a bit of a surprise in store in round 2 that we'll discuss. But Kelvin Banks Jr., I mean, what do you think of that pick, Jackson? You like it for the Saints, or would you have gone somewhere else?
I mean, it's a good pick. I like where the Saints are going to go with Kellen Moore as their head coach. I don't really like. I didn't like where they were under Dennis Allen. Like, you heard me a lot on and off air. I was a vocal critic of Dennis Allen, as well as anybody should be. But you got a bona fide winner in Kellen Moore. He knows how to win everywhere. He was one of the winningest quarterbacks in all of college football, 50-3 as starting quarterback from 2008 to 2011. Did a great job as offensive coordinator the 1 year he was there in Philly. I mean, he's going to do great things in New Orleans. Is he going to have the Saints dominating the NFC South in year 1? Not quite, but I think he's going to have them fight for a playoff spot. Now, the Bears, they're really serious about helping out Caleb Williams. I like it.
Now, Jackson, this was a shock of the draft to a lot of people that Loveland went before Warren. A lot of people were saying Warren is the best tight end prospect in recent draft memory, but Loveland went before him. That was interesting, I will say. But the Bears saw something and they liked it and they took it.
Yep.
Malachi Williams, 11 to the Niners out of Georgia, the edge guy. Niners kind of need to restock the pantry there. And Alabama's streak is alive and well. Tyler Booker, offensive guard. Jackson, you could thank Jerry Jones once again. You could send Jerry your royalties for saving Alabama.
Well, Thank you for that, but you gotta get the Cowboys a title still.
That ain't never gonna happen with Jerry Jones in
No,
charge.
no. He needs to just let go of his ego. I mean, I know it's like, oh, but he won Super Bowl. Yeah, well, he was doing that whole business of letting it get to his head.
Well, he fired Jimmy Johnson after he won the Super Bowl, Jack. Like,
Well, yeah,
that tells you where his mind is.
because he wanted to show who was the boss. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of egos in NFL and in NBA.
Mm-hmm. Kenneth Grant, 13th to the Dolphins out of Michigan. I like it for the Dolphins. Tyler Warren to the Colts. Great pickup for the Colts. Jalen Walker, Walter Nolan, Shamir Stewart at 17. Gabe Zabel out of North Dakota State.
Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel, not Gary. Gray
Yeah.
Zabel. Ime Ibuka out of Ohio State at 19. Jahad Barrett from Texas. Derek Harmon out of Oregon. And at DT to the Steelers at 21, where a lot of people thought Shador would go if he followed. And Omar Hampton out of Carolina.
Amarian Hampton. Hey, did you hear about that back story on Derek Harmon, where it's like he went to tell his mother before she passed away, hey, I got drafted by the Steelers. I thought that was a great story right there. And we got Gabe Pickup from NBA Trades and Rumors.com and Rutgers at the Voice of College Football coming on in saying, how my favorite Southerners doing? Oh, we're doing pretty good. How are you doing tonight, good buddy? We saw you a great show tonight on Rutgers Live.
Yes. We are doing fantastic, Gabe. And we are giving the old yeehaw, so to speak.
There we go.
But that's our Southern joke. But anyway, back to your point, though.
Austin's got a lot of horses where he's at, man. I can tell you right now.
Yes, I do. I deal with a lot of horses, so But anywho, back to your thing, though, good buddy.
But yeah, Amarian Hampton from North Carolina. Bro was a baller at North Carolina.
Yes.
He's going to be a baller for Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, and friends at the Chargers. He's a much-needed asset on offense.
Well, here's the thing. Quietly, Jackson might be the steal of the first round, in my opinion.
Yeah, triple Big Bean says, what? WTF Austin has a farm? Well, yeah, well, his aunt is an amazing farmer, and man, he's doing some magic. He's doing some great stuff with horses, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, PB. Yes, PB. My aunt has a farm that I work on with horses. Yes, if that's what you would like to call it. But either way, we're doing good things over here. See, when you come to Kentucky, we're all about our horses. We're about horses and basketball. And don't you worry, I've done told Jackson we're gonna get him on it too. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But anywho, back to Jackson's point.
But yeah, Hampton, he's a winner. He's gonna be a winner for the Chargers. And Gabe asked, I might have missed it, but what did y'all think about the Bears choosing Loveland over Warren? I thought it was all right. I mean, I'm all right with them choosing Loveland or Warren. I really wouldn't care personally because, I mean, as long as they're showing that they're serious about helping out Caleb Williams, that's what I'm most happy about. I don't want to see him get flamed out like all these other Bears quarterbacks. That's what I don't want to see. What do you think, Austin?
I was shocked. Like, literally, I was sitting there watching. I was watching the draft, and then I had the playoffs. I was double screening, going back and forth. And when I saw the Bears picked Loveland, I was like, really? Like, don't get me wrong. Colston Loveland's a very, very good tight end. Can block. But I was like, what does he have on Warren? Like, what does Loveland have over Warren? And I'm like, maybe it's a preference thing. Because I feel like they're one and the same, except Warren might be a better route runner. Maybe more dynamic. And maybe the Bears are looking for more of a get dirty, just a pure like blocker kind of be that George Kittle type, not so much a route runner. I mean, good for the Bears. I hope it works for them, but I personally would have taken Tyler Warren over Loveland any day of the week.
True.
But Jackson, we have a little history. Matthew Golden
The
is
Packers
off the board
finally get a right receiver at first round. Yes.
And here's the thing, Jackson. It's the first time in a long, long time since they've done that.
Yes.
I mean, great pickup, Packers. That shows me that you really do care about Jordan Love. Now, I know somewhere Aaron Rodgers is probably hitting his head against the bongo, thinking, why couldn't you have done that all these years with me? But
I was probably gonna vent about it on Pat McAfee, or he's gonna like tell Joe Rogan about it, and Joe Rogan's gonna be like, right. Oh man, did you know about the culture war? You know, it's like, bro, I'm venting about why they didn't pick a wide receiver instead in the 2020 round instead of this year. It's like that's going to be a funny conversation. Like next time you see Aaron Rodgers on Rogan or Bill Maher, that's going to be funny. Like if he vents about like them picking Golden, be like, why didn't they do that with me, but with Love?
yeah. And Jackson, the one that you've been fawning over, Jackson Dart 25 after the Giants traded up. And this was one that surprised a lot of people. Now, I've got my opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
Honestly, this is a win. Because, I mean, they realized that Russell Wilson is not a long-term plan. They realized Jameis Winston's not a long-term plan. So, one of them is probably going to stay on as the backup after 2025. They're just kind of training Jackson Dart to learn the ropes, so to speak. And it shows me the Giants are really serious about winning in the future. They're serious about waiting to see if they can go from worst to first in the NFC East. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying they are positioning themselves to show that they are serious. I mean, no more god awful, terrible days of Daniel Jones. They're on to a new era, and I believe this can be even better than the Eli Manning era. I'm not saying it's not going to be like 2 Super Bowls or anything, like not like that, but the stats are going to show it.
Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Here's my opinion. I like Jackson Dart. I like his moxie. But what worries me, Jackson, is in big games, he tends to go a little cold. And what I mean by that is let's look at the Florida tape.
Yeah.
Ole Miss's season depended on it. And what happened? He shrunk. Yep. And that's what concerns me because at college, you may be able to get away with that. Like we let him off with a pass. Most of us did. In the NFL, they're not going to let you do that. That's what concerns me. Is Jackson Dart, if we want to talk big game quarterback, big game moxie, Shedeur is your guy for that. Like Shedeur doesn't lack for confidence. And I think that's what's costing him at the end. But as far as Jackson Dart goes, he's got the confidence, but he doesn't back it up. Sometimes. Right. The Georgia game, he did everything he should have to win that game. I'm not going to penalize him for that. He did what he was supposed to. But where was he the Florida game? Where was he in that Kentucky game? Where was he against Alabama all those years previous? That's why I'm very concerned about the Giants.
LSU last year?
Yes. That's why I'm concerned about them going up this high and getting Jackson Dart. I really am. Because that shows me the Giants are in desperation mode.
Hey, what's up, Hamas? What's up, Trojan Fight?
What's up? What's up, guys? But
I hope yes, Dave Walensky, we do talk NBA. We will get to that for sure. We promise you. Agreed.
Yes.
I think honestly, Tennessee, Florida is going to be a winner gets into the playoffs game this season.
I mean, then we've got the Falcons, Jackson, James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. Falcons making some moves. Malachi Starks, Tyreek Williams, Josh Conley Jr. from Oregon, Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky, and Jahad Campbell to the Eagles at 31. 2 Bama first rounders.
Yep. That's a
And of
win.
course, Jack. Here's the thing, though, Jackson. Listen, I'm not mad at Campbell, but why did the Eagles have to pick him? Why? They just won the Super Bowl. Why? Like, seriously.
Now you know why the wealthy get wealthier, because they want more.
Like, there has to be a penalty on this or something. This can't just keep happening. And Clint Moses has skipped to the Shador pick. Listen here, Clint. We will get to the Shador pick, but we are going in order, young man. Listen. We will get to it. Don't you worry.
We won't go too long. We're going to shorten it. Well, we'll shorten it. We promise you.
Yeah, we'll get to the short pick.
I think we should just gone by the teams each, but oh well. Big Bean says that sounds nice. Gators will beat Tennessee and Gainesville, but playoffs not so fast, my friend. Hello. Hey, I love the nod to Lee Corso. Love it. And
yes.
I Bleed Orange says, can I give you guys a 1-question quiz? I mean, you can do that. Gabe Pickup says, what Jaheed over Will Johnson, the smart pit, they just re-signed Bond. Isn't Jaheed major linebacker? Good question.
That is. And we talked about that earlier, Trojan Fight. If you go back and rewind, I mean, Jackson kind of had a little problem with Auburn, but other than that, he didn't get too riled up.
I just got laughing at it. Well, let me see. It was obviously Phil Farmer, and it was in 2003 on CBS.
And Josh Simons got picked by the Chiefs, which addresses the Chiefs' needs. So, good for them. Real quick, look at round 2, because there were some notable guys that went in round 2. I feel like we need to talk about. Let's see here. The Quinshon Judkins went to the Browns.
That's a win. You. Leanne Herring from Ole Miss at the Voice College Football, the Rebel Block, Wildcats Wire, had an article on it on the Voice of College Football. She was really impressed with it. I'm gonna go ahead and find that, but that's right. She says Cleveland Browns strike gold with Quinshon Judkins, and she has a whole article on that from the Voice College Football. All right, Megan, we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll definitely tell your friends, family, and everyone in Australia about the magic we're creating on our channels.
And Luther Burden to the Bears. Sneaky good pick. Jack. A lot of people slept on Luther Burden, and Hummus can remember this better than anybody. When I did my mock draft show, I thought Luther Burden was smaller compared to a lot of other receivers, but I even said I could be surprised if he sneaks in round 1, maybe goes second round. Nice pick by the Bears. Getting Caleb Williams some weapons and showing that they're trying to help the young man. And I think Jackson froze. I believe Jackson froze. Yep, Jackson froze. I have never seen that happen before, but we will continue to truck on here. Tyler Shough out of Louisville, my guy, and the Saints took him in. Okay, Austin, who wins the Super Bowl? I can't predict that far out.
Here we go. Sorry about that, folks. My computer's messing around, so I'm doing this on my laptop.
Yes. And BB, I can't predict who's going to win the Super Bowl. It'll be the Chiefs against whoever comes out of the NFC. There. Have fun. But anywho, Jackson, before you left, Tyler Shuck, round 2 to the Saints. What do you think about that?
Interesting pick. I'm curious about it, honestly.
I am too. That kind of shows me that maybe they don't think Derek Carr's the future. I mean, you could say what you want about Derek Carr. I think he was a good quarterback. I think he still is if he could stay healthy. But the question I have is he the answer? Is he the future of the Saints organization? We'll have to see. I mean, taking Shuck in round 2, I remember that was the outcry. Everyone was like, why are you taking him over Shedeur? Now, listen, this may sound a little biased coming from my lips because I'm a Louisville guy, but Tyler Shuck has great confidence, has some poise about him. If he can stay healthy, have you seen some of the throws he's been able to make? It's beautiful. But Jackson, we have our first caller of the night, and he's a great friend of ours. He hails from the great state of Minnesota, I think, or either that or he's a Gopher, and he's our good buddy.
And a Timberwolf, and a Viking.
Yes,
and a Twin.
But more importantly, I don't know if I can handle 2 Minnesota Daves, but we'll get to that. And Minnesota Dave.
How's it going, guys?
Let's go pretty good. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm doing good. So, what did you guys think of the draft? I mean, you're a Cowboys fan, so not you, Jackson, but the guy. I keep on forgetting. God, I've known you for so long, and I keep on forgetting your name.
That's funny.
I'm just calling you the Louisville guy.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, as a Cowboys fan.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was happy my guys got drafted, like anybody would. Interesting, Shedeur dropping as far as he did. I think a lot of that was based on, his attitude.
Well, he's got his dad's attitude, so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that,
and here's the thing. And what got me, Dave, is, and I didn't realize this until I went back and watched it, but him having legendary plastered all over his lounge, that was kind of, I think, a red flag for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, a big red flag is dealing with his dad. If he has a bad game or gets cut or something like that, the GM's going to hear about it from his dad.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that was one of the major things. First of all, his attitude going in was awful. You haven't proved anything yet in the NFL level. What are you doing? I don't care who your dad is. And you have the same attitude as your dad. And it reflects upon the way you got drafted. If he went in all casual and just not expecting much, and told the NFL I'm available for almost any team, my dad will not get in the way, he's not going to be a part of this, he would have been easily in the first round. But I think people got scared about the way his attitude is and who his dad is.
I agree, and here's the thing too. I even said this earlier when I said this. I was like, wouldn't shock me if Shedeur, drops because of that. I mean, here's the thing about Shedeur. You see some of the throws he makes, and he's a very good player. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the throws he makes is very, very high intellect. I mean, I'll never forget the throw he made to Travis Hunter in that Colorado State game 2 years ago. It was like 4th and 16. He threw it off his back foot, and Hunter caught it. And I was like, that's one of the best throws I've seen that year. But the thing is when he loses, we see his attitude. He, pardon my language, bitches out his offensive line saying it's their fault, and he's sitting back there holding the ball, and he threw the picks like that Nebraska game. All we heard was, "Oh, my offensive line did this wrong. My offensive line did that wrong. Oh, and the defense,
Yeah.
where were you guys at?" And that
Yeah.
just rubs me the wrong way. Like, take some responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, he's got LeBron James attitude when it comes to that stuff. Everybody but him is to blame, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Browns situation, it's ugly. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson. You want to talk about a guy that rubs everyone the wrong way. He does that quite a lot, especially as massage therapist. But
Well, then.
yeah, it's like they can't cut him because he's expensive. You
Yeah.
got Joe Flacco, 40 years old, Kenny Pickett, who's been in and out of rosters, so to speak. He was a Steeler, then an Eagle, now he's a Brown. And they drafted Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders. I feel like
Yeah.
it's either going to be one or two guys getting cut out. And let me be real, I think it's going to be like those Tom and Jerry cartoons where you see Tom and another pet. On whoever catches Jerry gets to stay in the house. Whoever doesn't gets out of the house. That's what it's going to be all off season, all fall camp. That's what you're going to see. All training camp. That's what you're going to see. And by the start of week one or two of those quarterbacks is going to be gone.
Yeah, the Browns organization with the history of quarterbacks it's hilarious since they got got another team back into that city. You know, what was it? It started off with the Kentucky kid Couch, wasn't it? He was the first ever draft pick, I think, for them.
Yeah,
I think so.
But
I mean, here's the thing.
Browns have just been a disaster.
That's been the worst run
Here's the thing.
organization in years.
Look at Baker Mayfield, for example, Dave. I remember every critic, Stephen A., everyone was like, Baker Mayfield he's terrible. The Browns shouldn't have wasted their time on him. And he goes to Tampa and nearly takes them to the NFC Championship in year one after taking over for Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, he was doing good as a Brown too.
Right. And it's like, it was so funny though, when the Browns were trading Baker Mayfield, they were saying they wanted a mature adult at QB. But really, Deshaun Watson's your version of mature adult? Okay. Good to know. It's like, I didn't know mature adults do inappropriate things to massage therapists, but okay. I mean, I know that like Baker Mayfield runs his mouth at his opponents, and I know like the old man on the couch is complaining about it. But I mean, like the old man on the couch is yelling at the clouds, talking about kids are horrible these days. The younger generation sucks. Like you're only listening to one fan. You're only listening to one person. That is a bad business move. You don't do that. You listen to all ages. You listen to all people.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's like I said, it's the worst organization. It's known for horrible draft picks and Bottlegate.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, Dave. And I don't like saying this. I really don't. But Jackson has said it the loudest, and I think I'm going to say it now too. If the Browns don't make it to the playoffs this year, Kevin Stefanski is going to get fired. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen because they're going to put it.
He's going to get blamed for it. I mean, he's the fall guy. He's not the one that made the call to trade for Deshaun Watson. He's not the one that made the call for Baker Mayfield to be traded. He's not the one that made the call for this quarterback here and that quarterback there, this quarterback here, that quarterback there. He's just a guy dealing with it all. He's like Mr. Pink on Reservoir Dogs. He didn't ask for the situation. He's just dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I
That's
mean,
for all you people that love Quentin Tarantino movies. Especially when you see Margot Robbie at the movie theater.
Oh boy. But
Oh,
I want to I want to ask
I had to go there.
I don't. This show is off the rails now, but I want to ask you, Dave, how you feeling about the Vikings? You like the direction they're heading towards?
I like the direction they're heading towards. They didn't have many draft picks because they made a big trade in for an offensive lineman, I think from Jacksonville, if I remember
Mhm.
straight. And so they didn't get many draft picks because of it. But they drafted who I thought they would draft. Offensive line, defensive line. That's the big thing, was just trying to see if we can get some. Our rushing attack wasn't all that good this year, offensive line rushing the ball as comparison to what we've had before. Um, so it's just one of those things when when you have the pieces in place to have a good team, but you don't really need much. It's safe to just say, just get some offensive line guys, defensive line guys. They're a dime a dozen, and one of them might be absolutely good. Who knows? I wasn't expecting
Mm.
much from their draft at all.
Well,
Mhm.
I'll be honest. If anybody can get that Vikings team to a Super Bowl, I'm not saying the Vikings will, but if they do in the NFC title drought, I think Kevin O'Connell is that man.
Oh
I think
yeah,
he can get it
Mhm.
done. I mean, like he was able to win with Sam Darnold. Nobody wins with Sam Darnold. Everybody said, "Well, Sam Darnold's a great car." No, it's the same thing with Brian DeBall and Daniel Jones in 2022. It's
yeah,
more about the
Well,
coach than it's about the QB.
well,
yeah,
Saquon deserves a piece of that credit too.
yeah. It's just sad at the end of the year that Sam Darnold remembered that he was Sam Darnold. It was
Yeah.
bad. The
Here-
losing to the
Here's
Lions the way we did, and then losing to the Rams in the playoffs the way we did was just horrible.
But here's the thing too about that, Dave, is I remember when you all originally drafted JJ McCarthy. I don't know if he was always projected to be your all starter, but then he gets hurt, and then Sam Darnold comes in, obviously wins you 14 games, one of the best seasons you've had in a long, long time. And a lot of people all of a sudden sparked this debate of, is Sam Darnold your long term answer? Is JJ just the number two guy? I mean, what did you think of that, Dave? Did you ever think there was a chance that Sam stayed and got to keep his job even after
I
his
didn't.
two
I
performances?
didn't. I didn't think he was going to. I really felt that they put him as a short term, see what happens. I mean, if he won a playoff game, I think he would still be here, but he didn't. I mean,
Okay.
that's the one thing that I would say. Okay, if we won a playoff game, if we went to the NFC, even if we went to like just won a playoff game, let's just put it that way. I'm not going to even say NFC Championship. But our defense was a lot better. It kept us in games. We were a lot dominant than we were. What was it, 2 years ago? When we were in, we lost to the Giants in the playoffs, and we were a good team that won every game close. Every game was a close game. We had a comeback against the Colts one time, but we were winning close games, but against crappy teams. And 2 years ago, and
Yeah.
Cousins he's just made so many dumb decisions in key moments in games. I just was like, gosh. And our defense, like I said, that year was just not that good. We were lucky to keep up with the teams that we did.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
That was kind of like a fluke year,
Yes. And
but
Well, and the
mhm, and
Lions, man, I'm gonna tell you right
mhm,
now, if they're hoping to win, 2025 is a good chance to do it, because if they don't, the Vikings, Packers, and the Bears, they're gonna bring out the gimp on the Lions.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I
mhm.
mean, it's either this year for the roar to be restored, or it's never going to happen. You know,
Mhm.
I mean,
And here's the thing too. here's the thing too. Like the funny thing was, Dave, I remember watching that Lions game, the second one, and I legit thought, I'm like, if the Vikings would have converted all those fourth and goal end zone plays, I'm like, you all would have beaten them. Like, dead serious. You all played one of the worst games at the worst time. Like the play
Oh
calls
yeah.
down in those at the end zones, I'm like, I understand. Like, this is the biggest game you're probably going to play, and you don't want to kick the field, take the three. But what is your play calling? Like,
Yeah.
some of those play calls, like, I get you trying to disguise Jefferson, but there was one I just shook my head where they put him on like a fade, and I'm like, they're gonna expect that. Come on, Kevin O'Connell, draw up
Yeah.
something. I know
Oh,
we're armchair quarterbacking, but get me
That was the
started
most
again.
that was the most frustrating Vikings game I've ever watched. Like that year is just the last Lions game. It was just so. What are we doing? Like, okay.
Yeah.
There's times I was kind of like, okay, guys, just kick the field goal. If you don't have anything, like you said, if you don't have any, you know, confidence in your running game to punch it in, you have to try to like pass it inside the 5. You know, you got to do something better with play calls. I know Jefferson's probably the big major target, but you have to go to somebody else, go to a tight end. He just was locked on Jefferson that whole entire time. I think he made like one.
Mm-hmm.
I think one possession when we got near the goal line. He passed to Jefferson 3 dang times, three
Yeah,
times,
and
and it was
and
all.
it
And
didn't take a genius.
they double covered it all the time. They had secret double coverage and then broke it away
Oh,
or make
geez.
him throw high. You
And
Oh,
know,
here's
it
the thing
was
too, Dave. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Me, you, or Jackson could have figured out what that game plan was down there.
yeah.
uh, um, one question though. How you feel about the Timberwolves being in a 3-1 league against the Lakers?
I tried to warn
It will
people
be.
about that.
I, I
Yes, you did, Austin. You said they would win 4-2, but it's not over yet.
Well, it's not over yet, but I'm going to say this. I'm feeling very confident. I will not be surprised if this goes to 6. I would love it to end on Wednesday, but I just have a feeling that, the Lakers are going to show up for one game. And then when they come back here, it is basically for the Timberwolves, it's a must win game 6. You can't go to a game 7 because you're not going to win
No.
in LA again. So, I would love for it to just end it right now in 5. I'm hoping 5, but if it's 6, it would be expected for me. I kind of expected that if the T was going to win, they were going to win in 6. And then the national
Mhm.
media, God dang it. Do
Oh
they only
yeah.
care about the Lakers? That's all they care
Yeah.
about.
I know, right? It's like
It's
Yeah.
if you want to go for NBA insiders, like go to our guy Gabriel Pickup from NBAtradesandrumors.com. Now he is an NBA insider. He's like the underrated version of Shams. Like
yeah.
and
Listen.
just also like watch a lot of the Locked On NBA podcast and watch like anything that's not really on ESPN, but also, just like my advice should be just like watch the stuff that's like talking about your teams and watch those shows and those teams that aren't talking about your teams, like the small market teams. That
Yeah.
which it seems to me you're like you've paid a lot of attention to the NBA more than I have. Like I know Austin's paid more attention to it than
I
he
love
paid
the
way more
NBA.
attention to it than I did. Like and that's why I was saying that I felt like we're gonna be seeing Lakers Celtics is because of crap like that from the media. Is they want it to
Oh
they want
yeah.
something like that to happen. They don't care about the
here's
Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Cavs,
You
nothing
know,
like that.
oh, it's always been like that. That's the sad part. Small market teams always get screwed when it comes to national media, especially when it comes to ESPN.
Mhm.
I swear, ESPN's coverage is Lakers, Celtics, Yankees, What is Tiger Woods doing? And the NFL
Cowboys.
draft, and and that's basically it.
It's like those
Mhm.
weird dudes that watch like Roadhouse a lot and go, Patrick Swayze hit another guy.
Here's the thing, too, Dave. I remember telling everyone, I'm like, the Timberwolves are going to beat the Lakers in this series. And I even said they're going to do it in 5. And I got ridiculed. People were like, you're absolutely nuts. How are you going to say the T-Wolves are going to beat the Lakers in 5? They've got the 2 best players in the world, and they've got the GOAT in LeBron. And I'm like, the Timberwolves are physically more tougher. Ant-Man turns into Michael Jordan when the lights come on the brightest, and Rudy Gobert is going to gobble the glass up because the Lakers had no center, and it's playing right out in front of everybody. And I was like, I told you this was going to happen. I told
And,
you.
and Minnesota has a bench that they can rely on to give them more points than the Lakers do. Though that's the other thing. Like the Lakers, like Jesus Christ, let's play a full half of all 5 guys and then tire them out right at the end. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, too, Dave. When me and Jeffrey did our predictions, I predicted the T-Wolves to win the West. Straight up. Not even joking you. I predicted y'all to win the West. And a lot of people thought I was crazy for doing that. I'm like, they're not scared of anybody. Like, if they play my team, which is the Nuggets, y'all have our number. I don't think we could beat you all. I really don't. I think. And Daryl says I'm still crazy for that big. Okay, Daryl, when the T-Wolves go to the finals, you're gonna see crazy. But anywho, am I crazy, Dave, for picking your Timberwolves to go to the finals? Let me ask you as a Minnesota
Which is
fan.
more unexpected to you, Dave, and to everyone in the chat? The Cavs sweeping the Heat and dominating them, beating them black and blue, or the Timberwolves having a 3-1 lead against the Lakers?
Slightly, I would say the T-Wolves having a 3-1 league against the Lakers. It's
Okay.
the only reason why I say that is just I felt that the Lakers would at least gone to 7. Like I said, 7 to 6 games. So I'm not
Okay.
like totally surprised. The who swept who?
The Cavaliers swept the Heat and just obliterated them tonight.
You mean
Yeah.
you mean the Cavaliers versus those 8th graders? That's what it looked like.
Yep.
That's how bad that
Yeah.
was.
Yikes.
Yeah, that like I watched some of the game tonight, Dave, and I just was embarrassed watching. I'm like, this is not Heat culture whatsoever. I had to turn the game off. I just normally I don't turn off playoff basketball because anything can happen, but tonight I did. I was like, I ain't watching this anymore. I'm sorry. This is
Well, the
just bad.
70 points. 70 points in one half.
Uh-huh.
And then the like they barely, and then the Heat barely just got over 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
72 points to be exact by the Cavs. 72 to 33 going into halftime. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
This is bad.
it was over like the first quarter when they scored like what was it 40, 42, 45 or something like that. It was like
it's 43-17, Dave.
Gosh,
That's how bad it is.
I maybe we should like start really looking into these stupid playing games because in any other year the Heat would not be playing in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Before we let you go, Dave, what do you think of the play-in tournament? Do you think it's good for the sport? Because I know Adam Silver had talked about this. They're going to have a vote on it in the off season. I, for one, am still for it.
I'm against it, and I just think that the regular season should have some sort of matter, matter. I mean, you just 1 for 8. That's enough for me. I'm old school though. I mean, there's times like the first year I think we went to the playoffs in a long time. We went into the playing game and we ended up winning it. But I kept on saying to my friends, like, we we were like 10, we had 10 wins more than this team. This team was, I think, who did we play that year? It was a couple of years back. It was the Rockets. I want to say it was Houston.
Mhm.
But I remember it being a game in league. They were 500. We were 10 games up on them. Sitting in like I think the 7th spot or 8th spot in the NBA, and I was like,
Oh,
why are we playing this team just to see
I
if we can
think I
get
know.
into the playoffs?
I think I know which one you're talking about. It was the Clippers, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Clippers, the LA Clippers. Yeah,
Clippers
yeah,
always blowing it.
That's when people started fussing. They started fussing because the Clippers missed the playoffs completely that year, and they were like, "This isn't fair. The Timberwolves didn't earn it." And I'm like, "That's not their fault."
yeah. I was not happy about that. And I'll be the first guy to even tell you this. I'm not even the biggest NBA fan when it comes to anything. I'll watch the T-Wolves when they're good, and that's pretty much it. But I've always been a hockey guy myself. So, this has been really interesting for me because I get to watch one night I'll be able to watch the T-Wolves, and the next night I can watch the Wild. It's been really fun in the playoffs. Hopefully, one of these teams actually do very, very well and make a good run. I think it's going to be the T-Wolves.
Yeah, I would hedge my bet towards that one. But
Yeah.
I mean, I got to give it to you, Dave. I mean, I'll say this: as much as Ant Edwards gets on my nerves with his cocky little attitude, especially when he plays my team, I think that's what gives you all the advantage over everyone else is his undying confidence.
Oh, he's great. He's great, and he's a team player. He's cocky, yeah, but he's still a team player. I mean, LeBron James, this is the one thing I know about LeBron. It's like it's been constant whining about every damn time he gets touched, thinking everything's a foul on him. He flops like crazy. So does Luca. I think Luca leads the league in freaking flops. You know, it's the NBA like nowadays. The one thing I don't like about it, because I grew up with the bad boys and the early years of the 90s and 80s NBA, and just a physical game. That was back then. It was, if there's no blood, there's no foul back then. You know, especially the Pistons. Like Bill Laimbeer used to just hack people to death.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, now you can't even hand check, but I digress. But Dave, as always, it's been fun. Where could
Uh,
people find you if they want to follow you?
I'm not on any big social media or anything like that. I have a Facebook page, but I don't take friend requests. I'm not like a person that does a lot of this stuff. If I end up doing something with the Gophers and do maybe like a Voice of College Football Gopher show with somebody, I'll probably do like a media thing like that. But you can find me at home. Just try to
All
find my
right.
home. All right.
But yeah, if you're interested in doing a Minnesota show for the Voice College Football Network, email Mark at markrogers.com. Email Mark at markrogerstv@gmail.com or email Voice of College Football @gmail.com.
All right. I will do that eventually.
All
All
right.
right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye,
Talk to you
guys.
later, Dave. Bye bye. And we
But
got
our next caller, he's legendary at the Voice of College Football. Always great insight. He's a frequent caller of the Voice of College Football. He's a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. He loves himself some Kentucky basketball, and he's always insightful. The legendary, the greatest of all time, the never seen 17, the real MVP. Oh, hit
There
the
we
wrong
go.
button.
You're
There we
fine.
go.
Thanks, gentlemen, for having me on once again. I wouldn't call myself the GOAT. I think Jackson has way ahead of me in that category. Way ahead of me, and there's plenty others way ahead of me. But
I appreciate it, man.
yeah, no problem, man. You fantastic what you do. Guys, I'm not sure if you've been watching the NBA playoffs, but man, this is going pretty chalky so far. There's no real big surprises outside of the Timberwolves Fakers series. How much help does LeBron James need? Like, how much help does this man need? Can we send him Giannis Antetokounmpo as well? You know the NBA would try to do something like that. Ship Giannis, like Austin Reeves, a bag of potato chips, and some hash browns from McDonald's. You know that was a trade that could possibly happen since the Fakers are involved.
You know what? You know what, Daryl? Why don't we just get LeBron a full super team? Let's team him up with Curry, Giannis, Luka, and you know what? Let's put Jokic with him too.
Yeah, and then he'll fire the
maybe
GM, which that's gonna be hilarious because, like, even got a director fired from Space Jam 2. Like, oh god, like Don Cheadle had to have been thinking to himself, Jesus Christ, I went from Boogie Nights to this.
But Austin, I got to ask you an important question, okay, that Dave forgot to ask. How does this series impact LeBron's legacy? Like, I haven't heard ESPN talk about this, and I'm curious, man. I haven't heard him talk about enough.
See, here's how it impacts the legacy, Daryl. Because if he gets beat the first round again by this pedestrian Timberwolves team, by this young stud Anthony Edwards, it affects his legacy, Daryl, because Michael Jordan would have never let this happen. He would have punked them kids around.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, Tech. I don't think LeBron's the best player of all time. I think that's clearly Michael Jordan at their best. Now, like, longevity goes to LeBron, obviously, but he's just clearly not at the apex of his power, and I think his aura, as they call it nowadays, is causing the Lakers to not reach their full potential. Because, you know, Luka with the Mavs last year, he actually made the finals. Is it crazy that the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers, there might be one playoff win that separated those two teams? Think about it. If I told anybody 30 minutes after that Luka trade, hey, guess what? The Lakers are only going to win one more playoff game than the Mavs. Everybody would be thinking, man, Lakers, Mavs going 7 in the Western Conference Finals? Instead, it's both hit the toilet and have completely collapsed. I mean, I thought this was like one of the greatest like potential trades of all time in terms of like the way it's shaping the NBA. But this first year's been a complete failure of this AD versus Luka trade.
Well, one thing to remember is the owners that own the team, because it's like it's not Mark Cuban calling the shots. Like, he may be the face that you see all over the place for the Mavericks and Shark Tank and on this news show here, that political show there, or that podcast there. He's not the one calling the shots like he used to be. He's got minority ownership. It's Miriam Adelson and Patrick Dumont that own 69% of the league. Each of those two own 34.5% of that team. And, you know, you heard like all those posts, all those interviews where Mark Cuban saying, I'll divorce my wife before I let Luka Doncic go. Like, he was that serious.
Here's the thing, though. As far as that goes, I want to say this, Jackson. You want to know what's funny? That I've heard these reports come out, but apparently Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss was able to had a private dinners with the Mavs ownership and everything, and kept us all under wraps. So that was kind of like, there's some shady stuff here. There's something they're not telling us, but.
Yeah, I was watching the playoff games today. The Cavs dominated, though. He decided, you know what? We actually can't beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, one of the best offenses of all time. They just gave up. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, anybody surprised that the 2 number 1 overall seeds are the only teams that have advanced so far and the only teams that's going to be sweeping? I mean, it's not really
No.
that shocking when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. The Rockets lost a disappointing game tonight. And the Rockets of Warriors, I've seen this exact game played out every game of the series, basically. The Rockets have the lead with like 5 minutes to go, and then usually the Warriors somehow, because of their experience or grittiness or toughness, come back and win the game. I've seen this played out. I mean, the Rockets are clearly the better team, but the Warriors just find a way to win.
The Rockets can't shoot either, Daryl. Like, they go cold. Like, that's the thing with them. And I remember we talked about this, but that's what's going to bite them in the butt ultimately, is they can't shoot. They need more shooters.
Yeah, I get that, but for the Rockets, being the Rockets, they're way ahead of schedule. So even if they lose in 5, this is a good year for the Rockets. I didn't expect them to win the series. I thought it would go 6 or 7. But your Timberwolves pick is looking. I still don't know. I think they're going to win this round, obviously, which is a massive upset.
If the voice of college football was to ever expand to the voice of NFL football, college basketball, NBA basketball, MLB baseball, et cetera, it's like, I think there's a place for Austin there for sure, especially on the NBA basketball front.
Here's the thing too, Daryl, and I want to say this. You called my Timberwolves to the finals picks a little crazy. Let me try to walk you through it. I mean, if they beat the Lakers and the Warriors hold on, the T-Wolves got to beat Golden State. I know it's easier said than done when you've got Steph Curry, who's arguably the greatest point guard to ever grace us with his presence. It's easier said than done, but it's not an impossible task. They can very well do it. And like you said, I think the Thunder's T-Wolves series could be a really fun series. But to be honest with you, Daryl, I think whoever wins my series, our series, being the Nuggets Clippers, I think they have a chance to put the Thunder out.
I mean, they would have a chance, but I mean, the Thunder, I'm going to go with the team that's won 72 games up to this point, the team that has looked like the best team in the entire NBA throughout the entire season. I'm going to go with the team that has absolutely smashed their competition like a cupcake for the most part. I haven't seen no reason to pick against the Thunder, and I'm not going to outthink myself here. I need to see evidence that the Thunder can be beat first.
Here's the thing. If Ja didn't get hurt, would the Grizzlies would still be playing right now, correct?
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on that?
Yeah, they would win in 5 instead of 4. I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies had no shot in that series. Thunder were clearly the better team.
No, I'm not arguing that. Like, I agree. The Thunder are by far the better team, but
Austin froze for a moment.
He's cutting out. The NBA doesn't like him apparently talking about anti-Thunder propaganda. Nope. Jackson, I saw you posting college football rankings. Was Auburn 13th in the country in those college football rankings?
According to Andy Staples from
what is has Auburn found something? Like, did they get a brand 5-star quarterback?
They found a lot. I guess they found a lot of transfers in the transfer portal, but I guess they're a little overhyped according to they're overhyped by Staples at On3. I mean, he's a good dude though, but
yeah, I don't see it though. I mean, if Auburn, I don't think anybody outside of him apparently is saying, "Hey, man, they're going to fight for a college football playoff appearance."
No,
like they're projected. I saw according to they're like 11th or 10th in the SEC odds. I'm sorry, the 11th or 10th SEC team, according to Vegas, isn't going to be in the playoff discussion because they're just going to have too many losses. And I'm seeing a lot of love for the Clemson Tigers this year, Jackson. I just want to make sure I got this right. Cade Klubnik is still their quarterback. Is this correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what evidence do we have that Cade Klubnik is a good quarterback?
I think they believe that they're going to win the ACC again. I think they're all hyped up by the ACC title victory over SMU. and they had a bit of a close game with Texas, but I feel like Texas was giving it away a little bit, and they almost gave it away against Arizona State. But
Right, because Andy has them ranked third in the country.
He's
So
got Notre Dame too. That's the
Yeah,
fun thing.
that's crazy. I don't like. Maybe it's just me, or just says how down of a year this college football season is. But I don't see how Notre Dame, with a quarterback that's unproven, can be the number 2 team in the country. And they're not loaded up with talent like Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, these elite programs every single year where you can just pencil them in at 2. And it doesn't matter who's quarterback. I could be quarterback, you could be quarterback, and they're going to be fine. They're just not built like that.
No.
To me, I don't know if you agree with this. The number 1 team should be Texas. Number 2 should be Penn State. Some order of those 2 teams, 1 and 2. You can have Penn State 1, Texas 2, but do you agree with that? Those 2 teams being the top 2 teams entering this season.
I want to see what Penn State can do against Oregon and Ohio State before I can make that judgment.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I just don't know. Like, Ohio State's obviously going to be loaded and super talented. This all depends on the bracket, obviously, but if Penn State doesn't win the Big Ten this year, I feel like they can never win it. Like, everything's set up this year for them to be the Big Ten champions.
If they were to get to the national title, I think everybody's going to be like, we don't care that you couldn't go to the Big Ten title. We're happy you got to the Natty. Like,
I understand that. My point is, though, if you had to predict right now who the best team in the Big Ten is, or with a combination of the most proven team, Penn State is that team. Oregon's lost their quarterback. Ohio State has lost like 14 players to the NFL draft. So Penn State's that team. Michigan has an unproven quarterback in Bryce Underwood that may be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but we got to figure that out. So to me, there's a lot of pressure on James Franklin this year to prove it. And I'm looking forward to it because this is going to be a fascinating season for like him, Dabo Swinney, and those 2021 coaches that were hired, the Brian Kelly types. Because so this season, I feel like it's going to have a lot more storyline than last season in the season before. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think honestly, Penn State, I feel like they're going to lose to Ohio State once again.
I feel that too.
Yeah, you're going to hear Penn State fans throwing beers and having their little FUs to James Franklin. It's going to be the same thing that happened with Ryan Day. Michigan upsets Ohio State, beats them for the 4th straight year, and we will get to Burt's in just a little bit. The Wolverines had that 4th straight victory over Ohio State. Then we see everybody talking about Ryan Day should be fired. He should be thrown out, all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then we see the Buckeyes go on their natty run. Now let's look at the Penn State schedule for the end of the year, shall we? Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, these determines a lot of the races because of how big these conferences are, unfortunately. And I think Jackson cut himself out of there. But Austin, do you agree with me that Penn State and Texas are the 2 best teams entering this season?
I would agree with that. I wouldn't see why not to. I mean, you could make an argument, I guess, for Ohio State if you really wanted to, but as of right now, I agree with you. Penn State, Texas, as we sit.
Well, like the rest of this November slate, we got Indiana. Like, we don't really know what Indiana is going to be for 2025. We'll know more after Indiana and Illinois and after they play Iowa at the end of September.
Who's their first who's their first game? Like, if they don't beat their first team by 40, I'm not going to believe in them. Well, I know that may be an unfair standard, but Indiana, I don't think, is a team that can out-talent a lot of people because they're Indiana. And I think they were just excited. Old Dominion is a team that can beat Indiana. Old Dominion is that type of team that has beaten Virginia Tech plenty of times in the past. I'm not sold on Indiana being a good even a decent 6-6 type team. It wouldn't shock me at all if Indiana went 4-8 and just went back to the Indiana they were. I mean, their schedule last year was so incredibly, ridiculously
Yes.
easily. Just looking at this page, I can argue Illinois, Iowa, and Oregon would be the second, third, and fourth toughest opponent they had on last year's schedule.
I agree with you, Daryl. And here's the thing, too. Do I think Indiana's going to regress that far, like you're saying? It could happen, absolutely. But I feel like they are returning a lot, so I feel like Indiana's going to go back. They're going to have a 7-5, 8-4 type year, is what I'm looking at, in my opinion. So I think they'll win their first 3 games probably pretty handily. And then Illinois and Iowa, like you said, Daryl, that's going to be like the 2 big games where we find out what they're made of. And then they got a bye before going to Eugene.
I wonder if Indiana, Illinois will be on Big Noon Kickoff or on CBS. That's what I want to know.
Oh, it'll be on probably CBS. If it's not Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, you got no chance of being on the Big Ten Network.
Oh, yeah. Like Gary Danielson's thinking, my retirement's coming soon. What's going on with the thing, Austin?
I have no clue.
There we go.
Yeah, can somebody explain to me how Ohio State, Western Michigan got did that game get Big Noon Kickoff? Something like that game got a Big Noon Kickoff.
I think you're thinking of Ohio State Marshall, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, I understand that they only care about the TV rating.
Yeah.
But can we throw a bone to some of these other teams? Not even like Rutgers or Maryland or those type of teams. How about decent quality football teams? Like, can we have Illinois, Iowa on Big Noon Kickoff once?
That's
I mean,
fair.
Your average college football fan's got to be. I'm tired of seeing Ohio State play at noon every single week. It's ridiculous.
Preach it.
And then you've got the 2 people, Gus Johnson and Joe Klatt, talk about how Ohio State is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, it was the greatest miracle that happened since Jesus put water into wine. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ohio State, I understand they're a great team and a great program, all this. We don't need to be told every single week how great they are. And then they can beat Marshall by 75 points. We all understand this.
Well, here are your likely choices for Big Noon Kickoff. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Rutgers, Michigan, Nebraska, and Michigan State, USC. I don't think they're going to have Maryland, Wisconsin on there. Oregon State looks like a nighttime game. Washington State, that could either be on Fox Sports 1 or it could be on CW. I'm not entirely sure. And what's up to you, Wolverine Gage? Thank you for tuning in, good buddy.
I would hope they do the Oregon to give some Oregon State love. I mean, they got absolutely screwed by the realignment process. Yeah. I just throw them a bone. And it's the best game. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It features the best team in Oregon. That'll probably draw the most eyeballs. Go with that game.
There we go.
Real quick, Jackson. You want to talk about making poor Wisconsin and Joe Klatt have to talk about something. Ohio State Purdue this past year, that game was over by the first quarter. And I just remember when they announced that as the Big Noon Kickoff, I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Why are you making them go through that? And literally, when Jack Sawyer scooped and scored, they were like, touchdown Ohio State, Jack Sawyer. Almost like they were being held hostage.
Eeyore sounded happier. Eeyore has a nail up his butt.
They sounded like they were hostages.
They
did.
Oh my god, that's funny. Oh my god, the week 6 slate. You're right, Darrell. They should throw Big Noon Kickoff should throw at least Maryland a bone or Purdue a bone if Illinois is winning.
No, they'll probably out of those games they'll either pick Minnesota, Ohio State, or Wisconsin, Michigan. And Michigan, Wisconsin will be like 14-10. And they'll talk about how fantastic those 2 defenses are. And I'm like, This is college football. I want to see like 35-32. If I want to see 14-10, I'll watch Sunday football.
That's what it feels like too. But if I had to take a guess, I feel like USC UCLA is going to be on NBC again. They're not putting it on CBS because, like, we know for rivalry week we're going to see Ohio State, Michigan be on Fox, but don't be surprised if you see either Oregon, Washington, or Wisconsin, Minnesota on Black Friday again. Because, like, look, we're going to find out the rest of the Black Friday slate a few weeks from now. We're going to find it out.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm happy with like what the AC's doing. Speaking of Friday games, they're putting a lot of actually good, decent football games on Friday. It's not even like your Purdue UCLA type matchups. I saw Clemson's playing a few Friday night games. Miami's playing a Friday night game. I think Austin's team might be playing a Friday night game or two.
They are.
SMU. These
Yeah.
are good teams in the ACC.
Agreed.
Yep. We played Miami and Clemson on Friday, which is kind of shocking that they would do both of those. But
I feel like Maryland, Michigan State should be on Paramount Plus. But
Yeah, I don't want to get back to this whole streaming thing because I've talked about it before, but any game like that just instantly goes on streaming means I will see absolutely 0% of it.
so I have to
that's
ask,
what I'm here for, good buddy. That's what I'm here for. I'll
so-
tell you all. I'll tell you all about. I'll watch it so you won't have to.
Well, thank you.
So
You're
my
welcome.
question is Penn State Rutgers, is that a rivalry?
No,
No, Penn State
No.
doesn't have any rivals. I don't think they have
Yeah.
a single rival.
no.
Which is
they-
also dumb because, like, next year, Penn State doesn't play Ohio State. And that's one of the few actual decent matchups at the top of the Big Ten. Like, the Big Ten's problem, and when they were doing their TV schedule, is they were thinking, man, we're going to be like the NFL, and we're going to have, like, we're going to have it promoted on ABC, and then the next window is going to be NBC, and the next window is going to be CBS. The problem they ran into, though, is their quality teams isn't as good as the NFL, and they don't have as much parity. So not a lot of people want to see UCLA versus Maryland.
no.
And then follow that. What was it? Maryland for Charlotte was a.
Yeah, Maryland,
NBC
Charlotte was on Peacock.
No, I thought that was an NBC game. That was a,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was-
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was on NBC. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a
because they had
nighttime
nothing better.
primetime game was Maryland Charlotte. And I'm like, well, instantly that told you how bad the contract that the Big Ten signed was.
Yeah, and that week Darrell was pretty sloppy if I remember correct. And they have to
Yeah,
have
that was 2023, I believe.
Yeah, that was a rough week to watch if you're a Big Ten.
Because like
fan.
all the good games were road games for the Big Ten.
Yeah, and also the problem is like with the scheduling is the Big Ten. The SEC does this too, and all of college football feels like they'll have 1 week of where you get like Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Ohio, Georgia, Texas, Florida, Auburn, Ohio State, Alabama, for example. I'm just pulling out a random one for that one. You'll have 4 massive games in 1 week, and the next week it'll be like Clemson versus Virginia Tech is the key storyline game of the week. Can we space out these good games to where at least get like 1 a week? Why do we have to have 4 massive games
Well,
in 1 week?
With the weeks with really no good games means one thing, Darrell. Upset.
There's going to be tons of upsets. I understand that, but I'm just speaking as somebody who wants to see the best of the best competition, and especially under this 12-team playoff era. Like, you can lose an upset or two nowadays, and it really doesn't affect you, as Ohio State will point out.
Dave Valansky makes a good point. Penn State's biggest rival doesn't even play in the Big Ten. Pitt should be in the Big Ten. Yeah, the Big Ten should just be like, if Rutgers can't win, we're just going to trade Rutgers to the ACC, and in return, we get Pittsburgh. That way, we get something to watch on Black Friday, along with Nebraska, Iowa. Boom, you make money.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm happy we're getting some more Friday night games just to spice up the season.
There we go. I mean, because I want to go back to like Thursday night football where you see like a game on there, like where instead of it being like a Power 4 game or like a game once every few weeks, I want to go back to being every week like it used to be. I don't mind flipping between an NFL game and a college football game, and I mean, and while I'm doing like the Alabama call-in show Thursday nights, I don't mind like watching the pro game on my laptop and keeping an eye on the college game on one of my windows right here on this desktop. I don't mind at all. And while talking to everybody about Alabama football at the same time, that's fine with me. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I got you, and I don't blame you at all. I mean, I think college football is just better when they spread out their games because there's just way too many games on at the same time, and they're all competing against one another. Especially if there's one massive game. Obviously, Ohio State, Michigan's the easiest example. It takes all the oxygen out of the room, and you can watch like none of the good other games. Yeah, this is a good example. Virginia Tech is known for their Thursday night. Honestly, just have Virginia Tech play every single game Thursday night. I'll be happy with that.
Or at least like most of their home games. Like have them play like 4 of their home games on Thursday night, where it's like you have one of their September home games, like, and make sure it's the biggest, one of the biggest as well. Don't have it be some crappy like scrub team. Have it be like their biggest non-conference game be on Thursday. Because I mean, that is a bettor's dream right there. You want to win some money? Bet on Virginia Tech at home on Thursday night. That's going to help you. And the way you could tell things were going down, we're having a bad year for Virginia Tech 2022, was when they weren't winning on Thursday night at home against West Virginia.
I agree. And here's the thing, too, like you said, Darrell, I'm in more favor like you. I wish they would spread it out like
we're going to go ahead and bring on Burt's. We don't want him to keep waiting. Like, we're going to have him along with Darrell. Burt's, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
What's up, my man? Darrell can finish, and then I'll have to tell you something great funny. So, yeah.
Oh, all right, man. I got a good feeling we're going to love it. And I got a good feeling Darrell's going to need to get some popcorn and his – what's your favorite soda, Darrell?
I'm a Diet Coke fan all the way through.
Well, you're going to need to get your Diet Coke and popcorn because I got a good feeling Burt's has a good story for us.
Yeah, honestly, I'll just shut up because I want, when Michael Jackson walks onto the stage, you just be quiet and listen. That's what I'm going to do for the next 5 minutes. I'm just going to be quiet and listen.
Oof. Ready, Bert?
Yeah, man, I'm ready, dude. So, yeah, man, it's been crazy. Sunday, man, Jesus Christ. I had a debate with Caden or Dan or whoever he is. And it was so bad, man. Like, I, destroyed him. So he even said, you won the unsanctioned show. Congrats. He literally said that, And because, I want him to, learn to not be disrespectful to the host. Be a better person. Don't be weird. Don't be, if Mark Rogers keeps saying, don't promote your show. Don't promote your show, man. Like, it's that simple. Mark Rogers is a hardworking guy, man. And, and even you guys too, who are making your own shows and stuff. It's just like, he's just disrupting. So I just kept telling him that. And, eventually then he said, and I was like loud, I'm not going to lie. And this is so funny. The worst thing happened after that. He deleted all his videos after I beat him, right? In the debate. All the videos deleted.
That's what happened to all his videos. Oh.
Yeah. They got deleted. He deleted them all after that debate because it was crazy. I just kept going after. And, he was saying some crazy-ass stuff. He was saying some, random-ass, talking about Michigan's alumni that there was some porn star who's an alumni famous. I'm like, dude, bro, what are you saying? We're not talking about that. And, dude, it was so crazy. And guess what, Jackson? So, after that, he deleted all his videos.
Oof. It's man, it's like I saw his video where he was talking crap. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. You cut out for a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. So what was I saying? Yeah. My bad. So remember Dave West, this guy? He was on the chat today,
Mike Rogers. So
I was at work.
Yeah, he was giving $14 into super chats to the Alabama channel today.
Okay,
Ooh.
can I tell you something crazy? That is actually Caden the Man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy,
You got to be
man.
kidding me.
Yeah, it's Caden the Man, bro. Like, it is shocking because he came on OHL podcast and he says now he's a Michigan fan, and that's the biggest nightmare I have. Is he's now no longer a Buckeye fan. He's a Michigan fan. He came on OHL podcast today. You can even go watch the call-in show of OHL podcast, and he had a British accent. And was just saying some random stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, what did I do? I destroyed him in a debate, and now he becomes a Michigan fan.
Oh God.
It is the worst. Like, oh my God, man, it is so bad. Like,
Oh.
I'm like shocked. You know.
I wish I videotaped that appearance because, like, I'll be honest, like that Caden the Man guy or Big Dick Boy or whatever he calls himself, kept blowing up my emails about like his Uncensored show, his StreamYard links. I'm like, I'll go on anybody's show. I don't care who it is, but that guy, I'm making it exceptions because, like, I feel like I'm gonna lose brain cells talking to that dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. And no, but now you're good now. I ended his YouTube video career at he deleted all his videos, so I think we should be good on that part. He won't be promoting his show to Mark Rogers anymore, that's for sure. But he's gonna still be on these chats. I'm just letting you know. So just giving you a heads up.
We thank you for the warning, Burks, and thank you for winning that debate, good buddy.
Hey, man, I had to do it for Mark Rogers, man. You guys work too hard. You guys are great guys. And it just makes me mad when you're on a show host and you're acting moronish and idiotic and saying 1 percentile takes. They're not even 1 percentile takes. They're like 0%.
Yeah.
Like, the funniest take, Jackson, was like when he was like, I have Alabama, Michigan, and Notre Dame all winning a total of 20 games or some shit like that. Holy
Lord
crap.
have mercy.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. I can't believe he said that.
I think he probably thinks he's seen Jesus from huffing too much of that diesel.
Oh my God.
Listen, the craziest thing about him too is Burks is he threatens to sick his boys on us, and me and Jackson try to figure out what that means.
Or that he knows everybody from Ohio State. It's like, dude, you don't know anybody from the Ohio State roster. They don't want anything to do with you. They think you're a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I know, bro. Do all these Ohio State fans, do John Kennedy too as well. I'm on his show a lot. I like him a lot. I know him pretty well. And his fans and stuff. And Jesus Christ, man, he gives super chats just to see if you give super chats, you want to give super chats so they can answer your question about college football. He gives super chats for talking shit about people. Oh my God, bro. It's just too funny.
I saw him doing that crap to Tim Prangley the other night, like last Wednesday on the USC LAFB channel. I was like, where he was like bragging to me like Thursday about, I owe Tim Prangley. I had some words of exchangement with it. It's like, I'm sure that was the other way around, but go on.
Yeah, dude, that unsanctioned show was just crazy, man. Like, we were just like, I just went aggressive at him and just said that, hey, man, you got to change yourself. You're better than this. I know you love watching college football, but you cannot act like a moron on people's shows, idiotic, and make it cringe and stuff, man. Like, and then just listen to the show host, man. If Mark Rogers tells you to freaking stop promoting your show, stop promoting your damn show, than doing this 3-4 times, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's like don't promote yourself without asking permission. If you're gonna do that, ask permission. Like, bro didn't even do that. And oh my God, it's like when he was like saying this stuff like everything is proceeding as I proceed. I'm like, are you about to go to a mental institution or something? I just need to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one thing I want to say is we're all passionate fans here. We all love our teams to death. Jackson loves Alabama. I love Louisville. Darrell loves Kentucky. And you love Michigan, Burks. and we all have takes on our teams that may not be popular with other fan bases. But the thing is I don't mind the passion, the love we have for our team, but he takes it to the extreme. That's what gets me. He believes what he's saying, that he's going to call up Ryan Day and going to talk to him.
Like the Ohio podcast, like called him on it, like put up a comment, like they were telling that Caden dude or whatever his name is, saying that, dude, you're making our fan base look moronic. You're making us look bad when you spend all your time talking that crap to John Kennedy on Always Irish.
Bro, you know what he said, man? Like, he literally wrote, like, said some swear words about Mark Rogers in one of his. He took it off, but, like, I'm just saying, like, he has done some talking some trash about me, Mark Rogers. He's obsessed with me. I don't know why he's obsessed with me. Like, I go on OHL, like, podcasts and Ohio State podcasts to argue, and he doesn't like, I think, my takes. So I think that's why he's obsessed with me. But, like, why me, man? I have no YouTube channel. I have no Twitter. I just am just a nobody who likes to talk college football. That's it. And he just tells people, "Oh, Burks is going to be on to Mark Rogers unsanctioned show." It's like, what the hell?
I know one guy that I've never seen Caden call on. I've never seen him call on the Michigan College show, because I know TJ will not put up with his shit for very long. He'll be like, "Get out of here."
Oh, he's coming. He's coming, bro. He's now a Michigan fan, man. That's the worst nightmare I've ever had in my life. I destroyed him so badly in that debate. He became a Michigan fan and says, "I hate Ohio State." Now, go watch OHL podcasts, bro. Like, all right, they're going to make a video probably tomorrow of that cut of, like, Caden the man being a Michigan fan, having a British accent and saying, "Why did Burks defeat it?" Dude, he was acting so weird. Holy crap, bro. Like, it's just crazy. This saga is going to happen for a while. Just letting you guys know. And be ready for it, man. So,
well, if he does that self-promoting bullshit without permission, his ass is getting cut.
Burks, maybe you should feel honored because Caden's your biggest fan.
bro, dude, no. Not only that, he was writing super chats today at Mark Rogers saying Burks defeated his Caden guy or Ohio State guy. That's Caden the man, bro. That's literally him. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, yeah, because he keeps super chatting. It's like, bro, this guy is actually, why is he so, like, obsessed with me? It's like, there can only be one person obsessed with me, dude. And I don't want anyone to be obsessed. This is why I don't have Twitter, man. Because Twitter, bro, like, it's just like, it's gone so toxic, man. And YouTube is starting to get a little toxic too, I've noticed. And I just want to do college football. And, I don't know on Twitter because I don't want to get into fights with, like, people 24/7. Caden was enough, bro. Like, you don't understand. Now he's an ally, but I don't care if he's an ally. If he's going to be disrespectful to Mark Rogers and all these great guys, then I'm sorry. And listen, he does need help, I feel, right? He is probably going through some stuff, but so that's why I'm not that evil to him, but so.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's that ex-girlfriend that just doesn't know how to take a hint, if you know what I mean. Like he's that kind. And like you said, like if he's going through something, then that is sad. Like I do agree.
Yeah.
But there's no need to disrespect anybody. This can all be a safe place for everybody, and everybody can enjoy themselves. And there's no need to attack anybody.
Oh, I'm letting you know right now, Michigan, Ohio State, like we are like, they're just killing each other right now. It's crazy on YouTube, on Twitter, man. Like you SEC guys are all chill and like living life on the beach. It seems you guys have no beef with anybody, but man, Michigan, Ohio State, bro, like holy crap. It's like become like Bloods versus Crips, dude. It's crazy.
Well, dude, Burks, the reason that is we're like family down in the South. We all,
I know.
We all love each other and we all defend ourselves from outside forces. But we all argue with each other and inside their own camps. It's just like a big family.
Hey, yeah.
Except for Tennessee fans. He's like that weird cousin in the corner. Everybody just looks at and it's like, bro, he just needs help.
Are you guys all from Tennessee or what states are you guys from?
Well, I'm from Alabama.
Oh, you're from Alabama.
Darrell's from Kentucky and Austin's from Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually a few minutes away from the Tennessee border.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm an hour away.
They got a lottery. Alabama needs a lottery real soon.
Okay, I went to Tennessee. I went to Gatlinburg. Beautiful place. Have you ever heard of?
I've heard of Gatlinburg.
Yeah, that's the only dude. I've never been to the South. That's like the most South I've ever been. I've been a Midwest guy, and Northeast. I've lived 2 years in upstate New York, but it's cool to actually talk to people who have Southern accents because I've never really talked to one in real life. To tell you the truth.
There
You
you
act
go.
like we're Bigfoot down here, man. I've never talked
Oh, no,
to him
no.
in real life.
Bro, no, it's true. I've never talked to a real guy with a Southern accent in my life, and this was like the first like this has now been a couple of times I've talked to Jackson before, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got that rural, actual Southern accent. I don't have it as much as they do, but there's some people around here where you're like, oh my goodness. There's different levels to it.
Yeah,
I've been to Gatlinburg. It's a very beautiful city. Very
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I gotta say the Southern people like the hospitality is great, and college football fans are. But man, Michigan, Ohio State, bro, they are just they're like Ohio State's a cult. That's a legit cult of what they do. They wear their bucknut necklaces. They do their hand signs. They say OH, and then I say 1310, and then guess what? It is fighting all over again. It's just crazy, man. I try not to get into fights, I'm not like that, but like,
Oh man, it is like I did kind of laugh at the thumbnail of the Michigan Ohio State post game on the Michigan channel where it had like the Charmin toilet paper thing. I'm like, oh god, that's so funny.
So
Yeah, they do a fantastic job at the Michigan at the Voice of College Football. That's
my god.
Like I can't go in that chat because they all just hate me, but I just watch and observe. Jackson, when you get something wrong, allegedly, it still isn't finalized yet, but as profoundly wrong as I did, they kind of remember that, surprisingly or not. So it's just fun to watch TJ and John do their thing.
Yeah, no. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say real fast, Bergs. You want to see us have fighting like Michigan, Ohio State? Wait till you get to basketball season. That's when us Southerners get into it. We're the basketball states. Me and Dario are because of Louisville and Kentucky. Jackson kind of sort of, but we're the basketball states. That's when we get into it.
That's cool, man.
We've got I think this year Kentucky, Louisville will be probably two of the top 5 teams. There's a chance we're number 1, number 2 when we meet up in the Yum Center. And
who's the Kentucky fan? Who's the Kentucky fan?
I am. I'm the Kentucky fan.
Oh, you are the Kentucky fan. Okay, all right.
Austin is the Louisville fan.
Okay, Louisville. Okay, nice. Yeah, you guys beat my Michigan basketball. I'm still depressed to this day.
Well, Bert,
and then I got vacated. So.
Bertz, I know you said that you're a Michigan man, but you also like Syracuse. Because I remember
because I lived in I'm not like a fan, but I know Syracuse really well. Like I know it because I lived like around that area. So yeah, the basketball and football and it's I know it pretty well. But if I were to run a Syracuse show, I'd be wearing Michigan gear. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I mean, I say this, Burke, since they vacated from us, I still count it, but if they want to give it to you all, be more than glad to.
Hey, Austin, have you gone to the KFC Yum Center?
Yes, I've been 3 times.
So in the arena, when you look up at all the banners, how many national championship banners are in the arena? Is it 2 or 3?
It's 2.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. You know how many's in Lexington?
8.
There you go, little bro.
Listen. See, this is the thing. Real fast, Jack. Real fast. I have to school Daryl here. Hey, Daryl. I have a question. Who won their conference more recently? Who made the conference title game more recently?
Oh yeah, I mean, if we were in the ACC, I mean, sure, we might make it every year. We could bragging about ACC level football.
No, Daryl. I'm talking basketball? Yeah.
Bragging about ACC basketball? Man, that's even worse than ACC football.
What? You had Duke.
Yeah, you had 3 teams in your league. Yeah, Duke, Clemson, Louisville, and then you had like nobody. You had the Little Sisters of the Poor, the School of the Blind, some high school team, some middle school team, some team that I don't even think knew what a basketball was. Like, my goodness.
Little
The
sister.
CAA might have been better than the ACC this
That's
year.
the second
You're
time.
telling me the rich tradition of North Carolina basketball, you're disgracing them like that, Daryl?
They're the rich tradition this year of losing to Duke by 30 points. That was their rich tradition this year. Their peak was getting blessed into the NCAA tournament, and everybody was shocked by that.
Little sisters of the port. That's the second time I've heard that quote today. First time I heard it today was from Jeffrey on Crimson Tide Live.
This
Hey,
is
great minds
ridiculous.
must think alike.
This
Yeah.
is ridiculous, is what this is. Listen, Louisville is the superior basketball school, Daryl. You just have to live with it. Pat
How far
Kelsey,
did you make the tournament? How far did you make it? How many games did you win?
0.
Okay. And when was the last time you've won a game in the tournament? Has it been this decade?
2018.
Oh, so no is the answer.
Yes. No is the answer, Daryl. I'm
Man,
going to shut
I mean,
my mouth
St.
now.
Peter's has won 3 more games this decade in March Madness than the Louisville Cardinals. Man, that's down bad. Down bad.
You know what? I'm going to shut my mouth before I dig my grave even more. Go ahead, Jackson.
Oh man. So, oh man, we're getting some good laughs here tonight. Bert's, have you been filmed about the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs so far?
Well, my Bulls are gone, but I'm kind of rooting for the Knicks because that's like my second team, you can say. Because when I lived in New York for 2 years, I grew up with those 2 years of Jeremy Lin. 2011 and 2012, the Jeremy Lin crap happened. If you remember when he was on
Linsanity.
Yeah, Knicks and Linsanity. So it was crazy watching Knicks, and people were like so delusional. New York fans, they thought they would like win the championship or something. Like, I'm crazy. Like, New York, dude, bro, those fans are so delusional. If they did not have the Yankees, dude, like it would not be a sports city. I'm sorry. Like, their teams are just all trash.
Here's something I've been a proponent of for years. So James Dolan, I've got a feeling most disliked owners on the planet.
He
I've got a
is.
solution for the Nets. Replace him with Spike Lee.
That's true, but can I tell you something? They want to the New York City, they hate him too because it's not all his fault, James Dolan. They want to move Madison Square Garden. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's actually really popular because Penn Station is getting crowded. It's like New York City's biggest train station, like transit for like Amtrak and stuff. If you want to like take a train to different states, and they actually want to that area. They want Madison Square Garden to just leave, go a different place, destroy that whole stuff, and make a new Madison Square Garden is what, and James Dolan is like, screw you guys. I'm not doing it because Madison Square Garden is it's the world's famous arena, man, like in the US and the history and historic. So I'm actually on James Dolan's side, honestly, on this. He's getting hate for no reason. The New York City and the New York Times and all this is thinking him as some devil and stuff. Like, they can go like screw off some of these like New York stuff, because Madison Square Garden is history, man. Like, I care about history. I'm a Cubs fan, right? I'm a Packers fan, right? Like, I love historic stadiums. I love how they have, and if they were to get destroyed, man, I'd get pissed off as shit, bro. Like, you don't understand. I get so mad. Like, I'd go berserk. So, like, yeah, I'm on James Dolan's side, to tell you the truth.
If that were to happen, you're welcome to come on here and vent your frustrations, good buddy.
Of course, man. Like, you guys are all like, so you're a Nuggets fan. The real MVP, what team are you?
I don't have a team. I don't have a team.
Okay, and then you, Jackson?
I don't really have an NBA team.
Okay, so you guys just love talking about basketball. Cool.
Yeah, I used to have a team, and then I was like, everybody just switches. So I just like players now. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't even have an ice hockey team. Ice hockey, I don't even have a team. I don't think any of you guys have an ice hockey team, right?
No, we're Southerners. We don't even hockey's not even on our radar.
Dude,
like, honestly, rifling is probably going to be the next sport on our radar.
Do you guys even have an ice hockey team in college?
Division 2.
Like, an SEC school has an ice hockey team? I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, and we have D2 teams. Kentucky has a D2 team. Louisville does as well.
Okay, gotcha.
We're not D1. The ACC's not even Division 1, I don't think. And ice hockey, they're D2. The ACC is. Which is crazy to think about.
Dude, if they had ice hockey, bro, like, you guys, like, athletes are attracted to these southern schools, man. You guys would be pretty good, actually, if you guys had ice hockey teams like Alabama and and all this stuff. Like if they had ice hockey teams, bro, they would actually. I'm telling you, I think it'd get popular there. You know.
Well, Florida, the Panthers have been pretty good in the NHL over the last few years. The Tampa Bay Lightning the same way.
Yeah, the locked on Syracuse guy, Jackson Halzer. I had him on a year ago, and he talked about how he's a Florida Panthers fan. And he's a go-to guy on hockey. So I gotta go back to him, ask him what he thinks about what's going on.
You should, man. I'm curious.
He's a Syracuse fan, so God bless him, man. He's had rough times. I mean,
yeah, they're so overrated, Syracuse. And you know what's funny? They won a football natty, Syracuse, like in 1959.
Yeah.
Oregon has not won a football natty, so it's just so funny, man. Like a school like Syracuse, that's like in upstate New York that nobody knows of really, except that they say they're a basketball school when they only won one natty. They're not even a blue blood, right? And they won a football natty, and Oregon has not. And they won it like a consensus national championship. Like they were undefeated that 1959 season. It's actually pretty hilarious.
I guess we need to. I see Trojan fight. We need to get a map for him. Yes, Kentucky is north of Texas. Is you have to drive north to hit Kentucky. Texas is one of the most southern states in the United States. So Kentucky is the most northern SEC/southern part of the South. And most of Virginia is part of the South, except for that Fairfax area.
You come down to Kentucky, we'll take good care of you. You're gonna have some good eatings when you come down here. We're gonna make you some collard greens, dumplings. We'll cook you up some nice dinners and some lunches around here. We'll take care of you. Fried chicken, mashed taters. We'll take care of you. Green beans. We'll take care of you.
My God, it's so on. You know, I'm like on a strict. Like I eat pretty clean. I eat like Japanese food, sushi, and all that stuff. So like, I don't like to eat fried food. Sorry.
I love those fried foods, but I make sure I stay away from them because I mean it's like I don't want to look bad on camera because like I get worried about like, and also long-term health. It's like I don't want it to get really bad when I'm in like my 40s, 50s or something like that, or 60s.
Yeah, we founded fried chicken in Kentucky. We got a restaurant called Kentucky Fried Chicken. You all may have heard of it. So we kind of don't care about that stuff. I think Austin can attest to that.
You have a lot of Scottish people, and I am Scottish, so like half Scottish. So like I would actually fit in pretty great in Kentucky, to tell you the truth. You know, like I go to Scotland all the time, from Edinburgh and your bourbon, Kentucky bourbon, and the amount of Scottish that live in Kentucky is a good amount, and then the horse racing and stuff. So that's something cool.
Yeah, we got the Derby coming up this Saturday, but it just the way you say bourbon, like we say a bourbon. You say, how do you say it?
Bourbon, basically.
Okay,
bourbon.
Like you have
bourbon.
We just skipped the U.
I think I drank
to the R. It's fun. It's just weird. The difference.
Bourbon. Yeah,
I think I drank bourbon once, but I know I drank like a little bit of a Jack Daniels on September 2nd, 2018. That and let's see, vodka by itself. I drank it the first time on a Wednesday in June, or it was a Tuesday. But I know the last time I had like an alcoholic beverage of any kind was a screwdriver on February 22nd, 2023.
Damn.
Okay. We need to can we get a map of the United States up for Trojan Fight to explain the South? I didn't realize this was a controversial take that Kentucky is part of the South.
It always has been part of the South. The only state that, like, literally, even Maryland is part of the South. The Dixie line is all like underneath.
No. I'm not talking about South in terms of are you actually part of the South in terms of I'm
I
talking
think
about
Maryland actually a part of. Are they Northeast, Midwest, the South?
They're
You're
actually part of South. They're part of South, but they should be East, because that's what I would say.
No, they're a New England state. That's the way I look at it.
No, they're not a New England. New England, dude, trust me, bro. New England state and people are completely different in that area. I'm telling you. Like I've been to these areas. Like
Well,
my
to me, is it northeast of Virginia? If yes, then it's a New England state. That's the way I look at it.
So you're telling me New York is a New England state?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
it's definitely. New York City is definitely just hits that New England like thing perfectly.
Man, we've got from talking about U.S. maps to Margot Robbie at the movie theater on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We've talked about all kinds of things tonight, haven't we, Austin?
Yes, we have.
And our
Okay.
favorite,
So-
and our favorite guy, Caden the Man, too. The guy that we
Yes.
all like. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your discretion, here is a map of the United States. You see Kentucky right there, right?
Yes, and it is Texas is Kentucky is north of Texas. I think I said that right, but I wish I could put my mouse on this thing, but like Kentucky to me, the southern states is like Kentucky, then most of Virginia, except for that northeastern part of Virginia next to Maryland. I don't consider that part of the South. And you got to go down to South Carolina or North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. To me, that's the South. Like those are the only southern states. Now, there's some argument if West Virginia should be a southern state or if they're just kind of like an Appalachian state and they're their own thing. But to me, that's the South. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, no arguments here, Dario. Some people consider Louisiana a southern state.
No, it is. Louisiana is a southern state.
Okay, okay. And I've heard people say it's not, and I'm like, I believe it is. But yeah. I'm with you, Dario. You
Like-
nailed them.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Like, to me, also Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. Those are your Midwestern states. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we get the same terminology for this.
Yeah. And
Oh, we
Georgia
went
likes-
off the rails tonight, but it's a lot of fun.
He says no.
Listen, it's not a
professional-
show with us unless we go off the rails, Jackson. This is how it always works out. We just end up talking. It's what us Southerners do. We end up
Yeah.
talking for 45 minutes, and then we end up in a place that we never.
That's
could've
what
ended
the
up.
buys are in the South. Like it's like we stay longer than we should.
What is you guys' NFL teams? I'm curious.
I'm a Titans fan.
Okay.
Austin's a Cowboys man, and Darrell is a Chiefs fan.
Okay.
Here's your team, Burks.
Packers. I talk to TJ all the time about
That's
Packers
right.
and Lions.
Oh,
I've
my
talked to
bad.
him like so many times, TJ Ronan, about like our Packers and our Lions and his Lions, and then this guy Kinetic, his Vikings. Us three will just talk about NFL, So like, yeah.
Listen, Burks. I used to like the Packers, but I have a small part of me that has a disdain for them now because of the ding dang Aaron Rodgers. You
Yeah.
beat us every year in the playoffs. We cannot beat you. It drives us nuts.
Yeah, no. What I love about the Packers, dude, is like the family friend. I think we have the best like fans, legit, like the nicest, and not only that too, but like the history, the culture, how the stadium is like one of the oldest stadiums, and not only that, it's like the only stadium in the NFL that's like shaped as a bowl, right? Like kind of like my Michigan stadium, and it's so similar to Michigan, bro. It's crazy. It's like Michigan and Packers have so many similarities. It's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
like literally Desmond Howard, Charles Woodson, all played from like they were all Packers legends and Wolverine legends. Even Ron Kramer, a famous Michigan All-American, he was one of the greatest Packer players. So we have a history of that. We have we both have the biggest stadiums in our league. Like Lambeau Field is going to be the biggest stadium in the NFL in 2026 because MetLife Stadium is actually reducing seating capacity because of the FIFA World Cup. Right. So we're going to later share that. We literally don't have owners, both teams. Our colors, we both wear yellow, you could say, or maize or whatever. We're both historic programs. We both have the most championships in our, like the most winningest programs in the NFL. And see, there's so many similarities. It's disgusting. So I keep telling Michigan fans, be Packer fans, because it's like, dude, Detroit Lions, man, they were founded in Ohio. They actually were. And I give them crap. And they wear silver like Ohio State. And yeah. So.
Hold on. When you talk about winningest all time, you don't mean most Super Bowls. You're talking about that like prehistoric era, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like winning the most like championships. How Michigan has the most championships in the Midwest, and Packers have the most championships like with pre-Super Bowl era, and now because I think your Chiefs have 4 Super Bowls now.
I think 4. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. We have 4 as well, but we should have won at least 5. But Rodgers has to choke in the semifinal all the time. Bullshit.
Really?
Never
That's not
failed
even
against
when our
Cowboys.
season starts, so that's interesting. I'm still kind of, it's just kind of weird being part of the elite
So-
because now I can look down on everybody. So
Real fast, Real. I want to ask Burks this. Burks, real fast, and try to be unbiased on this. Did Dez catch it or not? Was that a catch?
Which catch?
When the Packers and Cowboys played in 2014, the year y'all lost to Seattle.
Yeah.
And the previous game we played y'all in Lambeau. Did Dez catch it on that 4th and 2?
Bro, I don't remember, dude. That's the problem. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the catch. That's this problem. So, yeah.
It's fair. It's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens throughout the NBA playoffs and NFL draft. Well, wolf. That's gonna be quite an interesting take 4 to 5 years from now, looking back at 2025.
oh man, I told you the week before. I said, listen, I don't know who the Chiefs are going to select, but they're going to select great players. And guess what? They did. They got an A- from the NFL. I saw another service give them B-, another an A. Chiefs just doing what the Chiefs do: crush the draft, get a bunch of young players that nobody's heard of, and they'll turn into superstars. We'll see you back in the Super Bowl for a 4th consecutive year. I mean, we can just pack it right now.
Listen, Darrell, this is the year Josh Allen gets it done.
No,
Have a
he
good
won't.
feeling.
Really? He's a choker. He's not good enough to beat the Chiefs. It's okay. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is already, at minimum, the 2nd best player ever to play football. Like, he can walk out the door right now, and he's established that. So, it's going to take a lot to beat that. And Josh Allen, I feel like, tries to do too much in the big games. And until he gets over that, he's not going to stand a chance. And even then, if he gets over it, he still has to beat Patrick Mahomes. So
he has to beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason and not just like the regular season.
Listen, I think this could be a big time year for the Bills. I think the Bills could go to the Super Bowl this year. I like what they've done in the draft. I like the pieces they're putting around Josh Allen. This could be the year, finally, that he puts the Patrick Mahomes playoff demons to bed.
If it was going to happen, the best chance was 2022 and 2023. That's just what I think.
Hey, man, Bills are the only New York team. Get it? Because Giants and Jets, they're located in New Jersey.
Yep.
Literally, dude. I make fun of that all the time. They should be called the New Jersey Jets and Giants, man. Their headquarters, everything, facilities, everything, New Jersey.
Dave, I love that take, man. I mean, I can't really argue with it because, he just is a better player. If you just watch him. This is clearly the best player in the field. Like, the last bad game he had is never. Like, he just doesn't have bad games. It's amazing.
Real. With all due respect, young man, did you not watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched that off. He was playing without an offensive line, Austin. It's okay. And it happens. Yeah, no offensive line.
Listen. Why are we making excuses for Mahomes?
Not an excuse, man.
He got his butt kicked, and it's time for people to accept that. He got his butt kicked. He stunk, and he's going to be back.
Yeah, it does feel weird that we're not even the Super Bowl champions. Like, and you're just kind of so used to it that it just kind of still hasn't even worn in we lost that game. I know, Austin, this is a problem you've never had in your entire life because you're a Cowboys fan, but maybe one day you'll get there and know what I'm talking about. Jackson, you're an Alabama fan, so you can kind of relate.
Oh yeah.
When years when Alabama didn't win it all, you still kind of go into the next season like, man, we didn't win it all. You actually have to think about it.
Yeah.
Whereas most teams like, wait, we didn't win it all. That's the difference between us elites and everybody else.
Yep.
Listen, Dario, we know what that's like in basketball because Louisville, we're a winning tradition over here, good buddy. Unlike Kentucky, we expect to win around here. We're a winning culture. As Kentucky, you're just hoping not to blow it before the Sweet 16. We expect to win.
We made the Sweet 16 this year. And it's hard to talk about winning tradition when you're just 3 seasons removed from going 4-28. Like 4 of us could get together, and I feel like we could play some low-level teams in college basketball, and we probably could beat them. Like some of those teams are like atrocious, man.
Listen. That was a dark period. We're over that now, Dario. Pat Kelsey's going to have us on a winning trajectory. We're going to be back where we belong, and that is on top of the college basketball world. I have a good feeling. I'm
worried about this guy in the left-hand corner, though, with Dusty May. I mean, did you see what he was able to do this year? I mean, he turned a team that had they had the Scott Frost of the college football basketball world and Juwan Howard. And if he was up 10, he'd find a way to lose the game, no problem. And now they actually were one of the 3 best teams in the Big Ten. They had, they lost to Michigan State, but I mean, no shame in losing to them. They were one of the 8 best teams in the college basketball the entire season. So I'm looking forward to Michigan. I think they're going to be a legitimate threat for both of us entering this year. They could make the Final Four.
It really depends. If you get Yaxel Landenberg, he's thinking about NBA draft or Michigan. So he's really even because if he hits the second round. He'll go to, NBA draft analysts say he's a second rounder and he's going to go to Michigan. But even if he's a first round pick, then, watch out for Michigan, man, because, or not Michigan, don't watch out for them because, he's a first rounder and they'll have to get another guy in the transfer portal. And he's the number 1 transfer portal guy in college basketball. And he committed to Michigan. So it's huge.
Yeah, but I do, even with that being said, I love your head coach, man. Like, you got a home run grand slam hire.
No, I agree. The only issue is, man, like he'll be a great coach, but listen, I've been a Michigan fan my whole life, since I was a kid, man, and they've blown so many chances of going to national championship. I just don't see a national championship ever for Michigan basketball. I'm sorry, they just choke. We have so many opportunities, dude. Just choke them. Well, see what I love about Alabama football and stuff like that, and like these programs is when they get a championship, they usually win it. With us, with basketball, we lose it. Like, how many championships we lost, dude? Like 5 or 6 of them. Okay, we went, but a couple got vacated because they paid the players. But like, it just pisses me off, man. Like we just get stuck. Like we made it to so many championships and we just cannot finish it. So I don't see a Michigan natty in basketball ever in my life. I'll be that honest.
Now you know how I feel about football.
Oh, football! I see a natty in like.
No, I'm talking about for my team.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, Kentucky's never winning a national championship in football. As long as I'm alive, I can confidently say that. Austin, as much as he's closer, but he's probably never going to see Louisville win it all. It's just the unfortunate part of being not a tier A program in a sport.
I see Alabama football winning it.
Oh, of course, Alabama. Yeah, they're going to win it all.
I see they can win it all again. I don't know. It won't be like every 2-3 years or 4 or whatever, but I think like once every 5 years or 6 maybe it could happen. Yeah,
that's still an incredible clip for any school. I mean,
yeah. Keelan Russell, man, I'm just waiting for him, bro. Is he gonna start for St. Jackson?
We're talking about Ty Simpson, or it's going to be Keelan Russell. Most of Bama wants Ty Simpson to start right now.
I agree, man. He needs to put on some weight. Keelan Russell, he's a pretty skinny guy. He needs to be stronger. He needs to. I feel like he needs to go hit the weight room a little, and I feel like Ty Simpson, he was a former 5-star. I feel like he has some experience. I think put him in for now. And then who knows? Keelan can win the job in the middle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, what have you got going on this week? We'll start with you, Bert.
Nothing much, man. Just work. I have work at like 9 to. I'm just not sleepy right now, so it's pretty fun to talk to you guys. I'm not gonna lie. And this whole Caden the Man stuff saga, man. The saga's only gonna get worse, man. I'm just letting you guys know. So be ready. But I have really nothing much this week. No, it's just college football. I'm following still basketball. I'm getting sick of following the college football off season just because this NIL crap and recruiting and stuff. I'm getting sick of it. Of these negotiations of money, and I'm starting to get less into it. But yeah, it's a pretty chill week I have. Just working. Yeah.
Well, we're glad we're entertaining you, good buddy, and thank you for calling in. And we're sorry that you had to deal with Caden on Sunday. Like good grief. It's like,
dude, you don't even want to. I wish you were there, man, hearing that, dude. It was just like I went like after him, being like, man, you have to change yourself. You can't be like this in life, bro. You can't do this, man. That's what I was like being to. I was trying to like be like one of those like military like drill sergeants, and he just didn't get it. And then I just started like yelling like that. Like I was like, come on, dude. Like it was just, dude. And he just went off topic. I'm like, bro, why are we talking about this, man? Like and I literally threatened him. I was like, hey, I'm gonna leave your show if you keep talking about this like random porn star stuff he was talking about. Like I was like, bro, holy crap, man. But it seems now he's an ally. It seems he's a Michigan fan. He's obsessed with me, so I don't know what to do, dude. Someone please help me,
Well, if he's calling in on the Alabama channel, he's only going to get 5 minutes, or he's from me. So,
oh yeah, he should, because he's gonna talk trash about Alabama as a Michigan fan.
I don't care if somebody likes or doesn't like Alabama. I just don't want him doing any horse done to anybody in the chat or any of the hosts.
No, and listen, you're really nice, Jackson. I'm just surprised you literally take him this serious. Like you let him call in like for kind of a while. You don't even like a minute or 2 minutes, and you just let him go. It gets awkward. Because I remember he called in like 2 weeks ago, you and Jeffrey or something, and it was just so awkward. He was calling, holy crap, about Easter and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, and he was like running his mouth about Tim. I'm like, dude, it's like he don't work at the Voice College Football anymore. He's at another network. It's like, why you talk about the Alabama calling show, talking about Tim? It's like Tim don't care about you, Caden.
Tim might not even know who the hell he is.
No, I don't even think he cares to.
It's like, just funny, yeah.
But yeah, it's like the reason why I don't even argue with Caden is because Caden's an idiot, and if you argue with an idiot, you become an idiot yourself.
Even Mark Rice is the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys on the planet. He literally called him a moron and an idiot and a clown all in one sentence almost. It's just so funny, bro. Like you cannot, dude. I don't know how Mark Rogers can even get mad, but Caden was the only. I think Caden's been the only man, and maybe a couple of callers. That's it.
Oh yeah, I remember that call on the day before Valentine's Day, where Caden was like going on about, I got 2 words to say to you, Mark. F you. It's like,
bro, really? He said that?
Oh yeah, like my like if that were me, he said that too on day before Valentine's Day. I'd just be like, yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you too.
God, dude, it's crazy. No, dude, there was this one, bro. He was like at work, and he was like touching his head and like making the facial expression every time he would finish a sentence to Mark Rogers, and Mark Rogers was just like, okay. And that was weird when he ended his call. And dude, it's just like, I don't know, bro. He does need help. Everyone knows it, dude.
Yeah. And there's like one that it was the West Virginia Iowa State pregame show on the West Virginia channel. This was like a week or so before Joey Foster officially retired from YouTube. But I was on with Joey, and Caden's over there like talking this shit about how Oregon's gonna get creamed and they're 5-star dummies and all that sort of stuff. Talking smack about Tim and Matt on there. It's like, bro, are you gonna talk about West Virginia, Iowa State, or what? Like,
Dude, and you know what he was like, bro? He was like, OHL podcast. He was like, beep, beep, because he wanted to swear, but like it's family friendly, the show. So he was like, and everyone was like, he's like, you don't need to do this beep anymore, bro. Just say like, just don't say any bad word. And it was just like, he says 5-star dummy, like 5-star dummy or some shit like that, bro. It's just crazy, man. Like, I really do hope he changes and gets better, because I do feel bad, like, after, debating him and stuff. I'm like, what am I even doing here? Like, like, I understand he's calling me out, and I have a pride. Like, I have pride. If someone's calling me out and making fun of me, I'm going to obviously come on their show and call them, give them hell, right? But, like, at the end of the day, man, it's like, did I really have to do that? Like, he kind of needs some help, so, but I hope he changes.
well, I mean, if he changes his attitude, he changes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he does that trolling BS on any channel, and I mean on any channel, we're prepared for him.
Garrison is not as chill with him for now, at least. Garrison and Ryan, even though they did cut him off because he was calling me out on the chat and saying, "Let Burks on, let both of us be on."
Oh yeah, he was doing that crap where he was like, "Get Austin up in here, get Austin up in here." It's like, nah, you don't give the orders. It's my show.
Yeah, they're like, "You don't tell us how to run our show." And they just like bye. They kicked him out. That was so funny, bro. It's like, don't tell us how to run our show. Garrison was like, dude, he was like,
Oh, it's bad if you pissed off Garrison. He don't get pissed at anybody. He's chill.
Bro, have you watched Johnny Olden? Do you know Johnny Olden's show?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Bro, dude, there was Saturday, bro, like that Sunday show, man, Colin, dude, there was this Ohio State woman, and they started like barking at like they go crazy, man. They swear at each other, and they always give Garrison hell as well. It's like such a like crazy show. Like, and Johnny's just sitting there. His Sunday show was like he'll bring 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, and they don't let each other finish talking. That's the thing. Like, I kind of, if I do a show, I want to just only invite just 2, and then after that, let them finish, talking. If you have like 9 people, it's crazy, man. It's just it's like a savage. It's like a zoo, literally. It's like a zoo. I'm dead ass, man.
Oh man, 9 people. That's nuts.
Yeah.
A zoo. That's fun.
It is a zoo, man. It's like Zoo York, man. That's what they used to call the Bronx. Zoo York. Bronx, they used to call Zoo York because it was crazy. Back to old Bronx, New York, at least.
Oh yeah. That's another thing, Jason. Caden was like ripping off from Uncle Lou and like ripping off from all these YouTubers. Like, it was so cringe. Like, he was like bragging. There's like one video short where he had on where he was playing some Eminem song and doing some weird ass dance, showing everyone that he was owning Uncle Lou and Pigskin Pete. And I'm thinking to myself, I doubt those 2 dudes even care what this guy is doing. But oh well. Oh man, it was just so cringe. But again, appreciate the warning, good buddy, and I will make sure to keep an eye on it. If David West is Caden the man, I think it's 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, that's cool, man. That's cool. I just had to give you that warning, dude, because it was crazy, man. Like, he was super chatting today at Mark Rogers' show and a lot, and he just kept talking. Like, he was like, I like Burks, and Burks this, he beat. I'm like, dude, this is starting to get a little weird. I don't have like a secret admirer. Most people on the Michigan and Ohio State, like, I have some guys, like, I'm like a mix review. Like, I'm like, some people like me a lot, or they want to kill me. So it's really weird, you know.
You seem pretty chill, to be honest with you. Like, I've met some Michigan fans that are absolutely off their rockers, and then I met Michigan fans like you who are chill and could have a conversation with. So it all depends, I guess.
Yeah, man. I try to listen. I try to be like the least delusional Michigan fan, a Michigan fan who, doesn't get sensitive. You guys can say the worst stuff. I don't care. Like, I'm like that. And the problem is these days, people are just so sensitive, man, and then they just go crazy, Like, it's crazy, especially Ohio State fans. A lot of Ohio State fans go so sensitive, and then they start to, like, get crazy. And Michigan, too, actually. So, yeah, I try not to be like that. Never, actually.
Yeah, me and Jackson, we know an Ohio State fan that we refer to him as BM. He's literally off his rockers. Like Jackson could tell you from experience how bad he was.
Yeah. Bad enough to where I had to block his ass. I don't block anybody. But that is
my phone is at 1%. It's at 1%, but I appreciate it, guys. I have to leave. It's gonna die
All
soon.
right.
So take care.
All right, Birch. We'll be seeing you soon. Good buddy.
Yeah, take care, man.
Night.
Yes, Dave, and that is absolutely funny watching Lakers fans complain, especially watching Shannon Sharp. Love Shannon to death. He's the funniest guy walking the earth sometimes. But man, to hear him stick up for the Lakers like they're married, like they're a married couple's funny.
Well, Shannon Sharp's got his own trouble because he's been going for that net bone a little too much, allegedly.
Ooh. Fill me in here real quick, Jack.
Well, we talked about last week is those sexual misconduct allegations that he's got.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like he's not on ESPN, but he's still doing his Club Shay Shay and Nightcap shows. But I mean, it's got to have a little something for the lawyers.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson is rubbing off on him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Deshaun Watson likes that oxtail.
Oh gosh. For real, aren't you glad you don't got a quarterback that gets handsy with the massage parlors or anything? Aren't you glad you root for the clean, wholesome teams?
Oh, he loves playing handy hands. But
This might be the strangest part of the conversation yet.
Hey,
you missed the part where we were talking, where we somehow got into talking about Quentin Tarantino movies, talking about Margot Robbie at the movie theater. So I was like, you missed that part earlier tonight, but you'll love that part.
and see, this is what you get with us Southerners. You get an geographic, educational movie talk, and Deshaun Watson's sexual frustrations.
Anyway, I don't know how to transition from that, so I'll just say
Yes,
you can
and
follow
real.
me at x.com/TheRealMVP2437. I'll be posting about the NBA playoffs. I'll be posting about some college baseball. And, it's an interesting season. We're about to wrap up all the sports, so I have no idea what I'm going to be doing for like the next 3 months on my Twitter account. So I'm open to any and all ideas of what to talk about because, the MLB goes on for so long. Yes, I'll be talking about them unless somebody brings something else up. So looking forward to a fantastic end of the college baseball season and looking forward to a good NBA playoffs. And I guess I'm looking forward to next week talking to Austin about how his Nuggets are going to win or lose Game 7 to the Clippers.
Listen, for real, Nuggets in 6. I'm calling it.
It's going 7. It has 7 written all over it, Austin.
Listen. We ain't coming back home. We're beating them tomorrow, and we're going to beat them in LA, and we're going to be done with them, and we're going to move on to OKC.
I hope you're. I mean, listen, that's possible, but man, I mean, every game except for the game 3 was incredibly tight. So anyway, I'll get going.
Well, you have
Oh.
a good night, Darrell, and sleep well. And we will definitely see you soon, good buddy.
No problem. I'll answer this question. Who's going to make it to the College World Series? Well, it'll probably be mostly SEC, ACC teams. I'm going to go Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Tennessee, LSU, Texas.
Kentucky, maybe?
No, Kentucky's not making it. We're not good enough. I'm trying to think of the other SEC. Georgia is going to make it as well. And then I'll throw in TCU as a wild card team.
Gotcha. I mean, this is the one sport, Darrell, where the Big Ten doesn't rule, which is nice. It's the SEC and ACC.
Yeah, the Big Ten's only got UCLA and Oregon. Oregon State could make the College World Series as an independent school, and I would like to see it because Oregon State got absolutely screwed by, just the college realignment. But with their travel schedule and the wear and tear on this season, and the fact they got swept at Oregon scares me. Like, I think Oregon's a pretty good team, but the quality of competition in the Big Ten is just, it's just atrocious. Iowa's in first place at like 19-4. And they lost to Western Illinois in their midweek game.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the Big Ten, they need to do something in baseball because I don't know why they dominate every other sport, but it always seems baseball they come up short. I don't know why, but
Trojan Fight, if you want to change the fact the SEC is so dominant in college baseball, just beat us. The problem is you all can't because you all don't have enough good players. Actually, your players are terrible because you can't even beat like most. You're not even like within the discussion. You're like the Big 12 of college football. That's how far away you are from the SEC.
mm-hmm.
You're a non-factor.
And not
the Sun Belt has better competition at the top than the Big 10.
Mm-hmm. Like the two powerhouses are the ACC and SEC in baseball. We're taking the Big Ten's place in that sport.
Oh, you've taken it. You've taken it for years.
Yeah,
it's SEC, ACC. SEC's a clear 1, ACC's a clear 2, and then after that, the gap between those two and everyone else is insane. Insane. How good Conference USA.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams have losing conference? Hey, somebody might want to get a calculator out for Trojan Fight, but everybody in SEC within SEC play, if you add up all the wins and losses, they're all 5. It equals out to 500. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. South Carolina could go to Iowa, and they'd probably be favored to win that series. And South Carolina is the 15th or 14th. No, they're the 15th best SEC school. The only SEC school that is atrocious in baseball is Missouri. And they're like atrocious. They lost to Binghamton in a series, but they haven't won a single SEC game. I mean, Texas A&M for the longest time was considered the 15th best SEC team. They might win the College World Series. That's how good of a team they are. They almost beat the number 1 team in Texas at Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing too. The last thing I'll say is, like, I think Louisville could beat anybody within the Big Ten right now, and that's not me trying to toot my own horn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, we just won the season series against Florida State.
Yeah, I know. Oh, listen, that win against Florida State is by far better than any win outside of Oregon State that I can come up with. I mean, that's a very quality win. I'm not trolling when I say, Kentucky is 10-11 in the SEC. That's right. And they would probably be 20-3 in the Big Ten right now, or 21-2. The gaps between the conferences is that massive. The SEC is what? 10? They're going to have 8 teams probably host. 8 out of 16 teams host in the first round of the College World Series. They're going to probably
Yeah.
have 3 or 4 teams hosting in super regionals if they make it that far.
This is basically the NC March Madness all over again.
Yeah, except it's even more jarring than that, Austin. Like, it's insane how loaded we are. The ACC is probably going to get 10 or 11 teams in there. Like, I can think Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Miami. There's 8 teams right there. Duke. There's 9 teams that are all guaranteed right now to be in the college, bracket.
I would maybe throw Stanford in there. I could be wrong, but
No, not Stanford. Not Stanford. They've fallen off. They had a very nice first month of the season by beating Duke and I think it was North Carolina, but after that, they've just absolutely been in the tank.
And here's the thing, too. I'll say this. The Big Ten, they're not used to being the number 3 conference. They're not used to that. So give them a chance to adjust to it. There is a sport where the ACC is better than them.
That's true. Oh, I forgot these are teams that are on the fringe that can make it. Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. All those 3 teams can make the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this, like, college baseball is kind of fun. Like, I got into it later as I got older, but it's kind of fun to watch, especially the way they seed teams. Like a Pepperdine can make the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Oral Roberts was in the College World Series a few years ago. According to the conference RPI, which is the only thing that matters, the independent, which is Oregon State, is the best. And then it's SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10. So they're the 4th best conference. They're just ahead of Conference USA. And honestly, there's an argument Conference USA should be ahead of the Big 10 in terms of at the absolute top because Western Kentucky and Dallas Baptist are legit teams that can do damage.
WKU's for real. I've watched them play a couple times this year. They're like legit. And Dave
they've got 33, 34 wins on the season. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
And to Trojan Fight's point, USC beat a great conference, Vandy. We're not denying that you can't beat them. We're just saying as a whole, Trojan.
Yeah. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what magic you got on Edge, Darrell. Looking forward to it, good buddy.
Sorry to take you down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, sorry, Austin. We talked about college baseball. I mean, Jackson, we talked about college baseball for a bit.
Yeah, I got to make sure to rest my voice because
I got you.
Well, Jackson,
I got a lot of talking got to do tomorrow.
Have a good one.
You too. Well, now we got our things we got to do. We got some stuff we got to tell the people about.
Yes. College baseball is always a fun topic, but
yeah,
you know what else is a fun topic, Jackson? And what the people will always enjoy, no matter if it's raining, sleeting, snowing, a bad breakup, or, maybe they're expecting a child on the way and they have nothing to do while they wait. There is something that they can do to pass the time. And that's watch Alabama at the voice of college football with you, good buddy, the handsome man to my right, I think it is, and his 2 co-hosts, Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports, and of course, Coach Burks, Johnny Burks, the magnificent one.
Johnny and Pete Burks.
Yes, the wise one. Jackson, tell the great people what this is all about because they need to know.
Well, on today's episode of Crimson Tide Live, Jeffrey, Coach Burks, and I talked a lot about the 2025 draft takeaways, Jalen Milroe being drafted before Shedeur Sanders, our way too early looks on the 2026 NFL draft, Nick Saban's biggest recruiting mistake throughout his career at Alabama, and much, much more. Let me tell you something, folks. You're going to love the magic that we're cooking up here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. We've got some magical shows coming your way. Special guests, all kinds of people. We've got magic coming your way. Stay tuned for more on Alabama with Voice of College Football. We are 33 subs away from 2,600, but we got to get the 3,000 subs just to kind of show Texas, hey, You don't run the SEC. And we got to make sure we beat Oklahoma at the boys' college football 10,000 because they're kind of letting the SEC kind of go to their head a little bit. But in all seriousness, though, we appreciate you tuning in to Alabama Boys College Football, where there's magic all over the place. And you can also check out my personal channel on Jackson Johnson 979, where I collaborate here with Austin and my good buddy Will during college basketball season. And for more magic that I've got coming on the way. Oh, and by the way, I've also got an upcoming episode, The Jacksonian, where I'll be filming with Nathan Bomber Brown of College Football Mafia, where we will be talking about the Big 12, BYU, and so much more. And for more updates on who's coming on the Jacksonian and on Alabama the Boys College Football, check me out on JatsVOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads, JatsJots543908. Where I not only tell you about my magic cooking going on the Voice College on Alabama the Voice College Football in Jacksonian, but also on a once a week basis on the Paul Feinbaum Show, but also on Blue Sky at Jackson Johnson 97. Austin, what have you got going on, good buddy? Yo, Austin. Uh-oh. Anyway, let's help Austin.
I'm right here, good buddy. My mic would turn back on, but we're good. So, anywho, you could find me at Sports Talk with Austin 2002, where I've got a lot of great things coming out. Of course, Pass the Mic with Jackson. You can follow me on X/Twitter, whatever you prefer to call it. Follow me there for my takes on whatever comes across and many other things. But more importantly, like Jackson says, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another great video. And we're on the road to success. And as you can see,
It's all thanks to you.
Yes, all thanks to you, the audience, because you make this show possible. You guys. But with that being said, we wish you a good night, a goodbye, and sleep well, stay safe, and we will see you next week.